Let's talk about Apu.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I forgot to watch the movie.
I didn't watch it either.
Okay. Okay, so what are your thoughts? Because you kept saying you didn't want to tell me anything until we both watched the movie, but clearly we're not going to do that, so we're just going to have our thoughts.
Yeah. So I looked up some like clips from it, from the documentary, like some trailers and stuff. And pretty much, like, the main thing I saw was that Apu is offensive, and they compared him to blackface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically what I would think.
That was the main thing, yeah. He's a stereotype, outdated, offensive thing.
Right.
You know? So I was talking to Madison earlier about it, and I was like, I have a kind of a double standard in my mind about it, right?
Okay.
So what did I say? I said if you have a live action movie and you have a character that's Indian,
sure,
right? And you have a white guy playing an Indian, and not like a white guy playing a character who's white pretending to be Indian, but like a white guy playing an actual Indian character. Yeah. Seems a little offensive.
And that's the case essentially.
Right. But if it's a cartoon, I think it's funny. You know?
I don't
and the same thing, like, I tried to play it in all different scenarios in my head, right? So, like, what if it's a black guy playing a stereotype of a white guy? Playing, like, some, Confederate hick or something, or whatever. There's a couple different, like, white stereotypes you could put in. I think it's funny. Or a white guy. Like, if you watch, there's a documentary on Netflix called I Know That Voice, and they talked to a bunch of different voice actors.
Yeah.
And there's one guy who's in everything, and everyone in the biz knows that he does the best, quote, black guy voice. He does the funniest black guy. Well, he does a stereotype of a black guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see.
And it's funny. It's funny. But if someone were to blackface in live action, it's not so funny.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, so taking him out of altogether was probably not the best solution, because everyone's like, oh, we're just gonna get rid of the character then. You could have taken it a different direction, recast, made his accent less offensive, because apparently that's part of the offensive part. Yeah. Because I haven't watched Simpsons in like a decade, so if I know. Mm-hmm. Heck if I know. You can edit that out, right? Yeah. Okay. And they could have worked towards making him less stereotypical and less offensive. Like, it's just a matter of writing. And they just didn't want to write it. They were just like, screw it.
The other thing, though, is like, it's The Simpsons, so it's supposed to be...
Right, but okay...
like offensive and satirical.
Yeah, it's more satirical in my mind. It's because, again, I haven't watched it. I haven't watched Simpsons in forever. I haven't watched a lot of adult animation in a while. Yeah, or at least the old school stuff like Family Guy and Simpsons. Yeah, but oh my god, my point just like went.
Well, what I was saying was, it's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be offensive.
Yeah, well, okay, but I'm used to shows like South Park being more offensive than Simpsons, because Simpsons is. I mean, it's problematic already with, like, child abuse and whatnot in it, because they play that up for fun. Yeah. Homer strangling his kid or whatever. But yeah. That's the only thing that came to mind. I was like, let me think about anything that else that could be offensive about Simpsons, and that'd be beating the crap out of your kid.
Well, couldn't you say that Homer's kind of a stereotype
Yeah,
too?
He's a stereotype too. Like, that's a lot of what cartoons are too, is stereotypes. Right. It's a lot of stereotypes in cartoons. Right. Like, Family Guy is all stereotypes. Let's be serious.
Yeah, Family Guy, South Park.
Yeah, it's all played for comedy.
Yeah. Oh, and any successful stand-up comic does the same thing. They play on stereotypes all the time. That's the whole bit. They play on race and gender and they make fun of gays and
See, I'm bougie about my comedians. I'm very selective about who I like as comedians, because I don't like people that do that. I don't like hacky bits. So like Kevin James' new special, I tried to watch that and I was like, oh, this is the same crap that's just been raked over the coals 1,000 times and then repackaged, and here's a box of crap. Okay. And so like 30 minutes in, I was like, this is crap, and I'm turning it off. That's how how I feel about a lot of the Adam Sandler horde. I'm not going to
you
bring
hate
up Adam Sandler.
Adam
No,
Sandler.
I'm not going to do it. He has a new thing out. I haven't watched the commercial because I just refuse to acknowledge he exists. He's
Yeah.
good in a couple of movies. But that's what a lot of, like, comedians are. But then there are these, like, gems that I just follow to death because
Yeah.
I'm just, like, Facebook everywhere. I just need to hear everything that they say.
Yeah.
Like Christopher Titus, Liza Schlesinger, Patton Oswalt. They're all genius, and they don't try and just package stereotypes as something funny
Yeah.
and just be like, here's your box of crap.
Stereotypes have been funny for a long, long time, though. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, if you start
But they're
with
boring.
Apu, then you, like, where do you end? Like, why hasn't every comic been put out of work? You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's millions of comics out there, but there's only a couple of successful ones.
But a lot of the successful ones are really
The ones that like to...
brazen, you know? Like, they don't pull punches with PC stuff most of the time. These are the ones that I hear, and everybody laughs about it. You know, they're cutting up. Because that's okay. Because they know, like, they're not serious. They're
Yeah.
not serious, you know?
Yeah,
So
but
they're
then
just
that's
making
everyone's...
jokes.
That's everyone's defense, though. Is like, oh, it's just a joke. It's
Yeah.
just a joke. And
Yeah.
fine, I love a good joke.
Yeah.
But, like, when someone tells you that they're offended, you can't tell them that they're not.
No, yeah, they can be offended, but should they have to quit their job or rewrite the character or write them out like that? You can be offended. You're free to be offended.
You can, but
Sure,
you're free to be offended, and they don't have to. But it's an opportunity to be like, oh, this is my impact. Maybe I should change my impact.
or maybe they should change the channel.
Okay,
You know?
that's fine too. I'm fine with that. I'm
Yeah.
fine with people just changing the channel so less viewers, and then they just lose the show because of no viewing or no ratings.
Or not. Or
Who
they keep
knows?
the show. I mean, it's the longest running. Is it the longest running show?
It's
or
older than
cartoon?
me. Okay,
Yeah.
like it's.
Yeah.
I thought it should be canned a while ago. I mean,
I've never really watched it, but I know what kind of show it is. I mean, I'm
yeah,
not surprised.
I've never expected more from it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, so in some of those clips I heard, they talked to a bunch of South Asian is the term they're using.
Yeah.
South Asian actors, right?
mm-hmm.
And they said that. What did they say? They went back to like representation, right? Like
Yeah.
it taught people that Indians were middle-aged, stupid shopkeepers with a beer gut that couldn't speak correctly, you know?
Yeah,
And it's like, I get that.
that's not true.
But if it doesn't, they don't say that, right? Like, I know that he's there and he's talking the way he talks and it's a stereotype. 26 years? What's it say? You can talk.
The Simpsons is currently the longest running animated TV series in the U.S. with almost 600 episodes made in 26 years.
Oh,
Okay, so animated
okay, so it's not
show.
older than me, but
Gotcha.
not by much.
Right.
It's
So-
it's older than Madison.
True. It's not very old, though. Madison's only 15.
That look she just gave you was perfect. She's like, really?
I'm just kidding. Okay, so anyway, it's like I understand that, but you don't have to read it that way, right?
You don't have to,
They don't say that Indians are like this. They just have a character in there.
I was gonna
that
say
happens to be this way. So I don't dig that, you know. And it's like I also don't like the idea that you have to be represented by someone of the same race in the show. You know, like when they're saying Indians aren't stupid. Indians don't all run, or South Asians don't all run a gas station or whatever he works at in the show. You know, it's like, yeah, okay, but why does Apu have to do whatever you do? You know what I'm saying? Like,
they don't. Okay, so that's I think the main problem is that's the only representation they have in the show, as far as I'm aware. Okay, again, not
think
watched the
you're
show in over a decade, but
Yeah.
that's basically the only representation they have. There are also South Asian women. There are younger South Asian men who speak perfect English. There are
Sure.
there are a multitude. There's just a plethora.
there's a mic there. I don't know if you saw it.
Shut up, not you.
There's a big
You
bright
told
red
me to
mic there.
speak with my hands, but not on the table, and then I do it, and I hit the mic.
All right. Okay.
Our
go ahead.
representation conversation always goes like this. You're like, well, it don't have to be like this.
Yes.
But then I'm always like, but there's just a multitude more of
But who cares?
who these people are that want to be represented.
Who cares?
I'm
Who cares? It doesn't
those
matter.
people, those
But
people
why?
that are those younger college age South Asian men who
Yeah.
who speak perfect English and don't want to think that this is the only option I have to grow up to be. I'm
But
not
look,
saying
but
that's
wait.
what that's gonna happen.
But you're operating under the precedent that they can only be what someone of the same color can be. You know what I'm saying?
Right, no.
So like they can watch the show, and if they don't like Apu, they don't have to be Apu. They could be anybody else in the show
Agreed.
who's a different color because
Okay, let's
You know what I'm
admit
saying?
they're all yellow.
okay,
so
but
like,
those are
this
the white
isn't really
people.
realistic.
Those are the white people, right? The yellow people are the white people.
Let's be okay, but we're not. I'm not yellow. I'm pinkish.
It's a cartoon though.
I've never felt that the yellow coloring was a very complimentary thing to anybody. Anyway,
Okay. But you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. I
Like,
know
they could
exactly
look
what
at-
you're saying. And I agree for the most part. All I said was they shouldn't have written him off
They shouldn't have written him off.
because now that's even less representation.
Yes. I think they shouldn't have written him off because the complaint is stupid.
See, that's where
That's
we
my-
differ. But we agree. We agree that he shouldn't have been written off.
He shouldn't have been written off.
But the reasons are different. Our reasonings are
Yeah.
different.
But where does that go? It's kind of a slippery slope because let's say you have a show or a movie or something that only has one South Asian.
That's every movie, but okay.
Okay. That one South Asian doesn't represent the interests or the dialect or the fashion of every South Asian.
Correct.
So does that mean that they have to, like, they're obligated to shoehorn in all the types of South Asians?
No,
And then where does that stop? You know what I mean?
we're never going to agree on representation.
Tell me how to handle that that slope.
More leads. Can you think of like one South Asian person that's like a lead in a movie?
That's not the complaint though, because you
No,
said
no, but I'm saying like that's one of my solutions. Is
That's not a
because like
solution.
because we as plus size women are recently getting a lead or a rom com. Not the first one, by the way. That's another controversy that no one's talking about.
yeah.
But that's a whole different. We'll go into that later.
Yeah, but the point was Indians aren't like that. So you need different
Right.
types of or South Asians. You need different types of South Asians in The Simpsons to represent the ones that speak English really well, and don't run gas stations, So you need the different types in there instead of writing out the only one. Where does that stop? So even if you have a South Asian lead, wait, if
you
have
can
a
just
South-
add two characters, just one character. Add one more character who's like the assistant to Homer's boss. He's a 20-something South Asian with a perfect quote English accent,
Sure,
and that's
American accent, but
and everyone's happy.
if that's
Well, not
it-
everyone's happy,
well,
but
so-
some people.
right. If that's it, then the message becomes South Asians are only like this. You can only be Apu or the assistant.
No, that's
Because that's how it started. Is they look at Apu and they think I can only be Apu, right? That's the point.
no.
So
You're very like beelining things, and things have a broad spectrum.
no. Oh, spectrum is a dirty word.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's the excuse. Spectrum is the excuse for not drawing clear, logical conclusions.
I love logic, and I also agree that there a very vast majority of things are on a spectrum.
Okay, well, just let me ask you this. Complaint number one. If I see Apu as in a South Asian, I don't feel represented, or I feel like I can only amount to what Apu amounts to.
Well, you're not a South Asian, though.
But that's what you're saying, right? That's why there should be more types of South Asians in the show.
Sure.
Okay, so
Okay.
if they add two
Trying-
different types of South Asians, then it becomes I can only be one of these two.
At
If they
least
add
that's one. There's
three-
more than one option.
But where does it stop? Because there's an infinite number of
Then they just change the
unique
channel.
South Asians. That's what I'm saying. Like the whole perspective is wackadoo.
It's not wackadoo,
It's
but
wackadoo.
you're doing your lawyer thing already.
Ah,
Lawyered the crap out of things already.
Well, I mean,
Mr. Baseline Logic.
yeah, that's
I told you I love logic, but again, things are on a spectrum.
not this one. Not this one.
Okay, we can agree that we both have points.
Here's what it is. It's like lately, if a person of color character is represented negatively, people cry, "Oh, that's not how we really are."
Yeah.
Get rid of the character, or have some different representation or something like that. They cry that. But if there's only one character and it's presented negatively, that's what they do. If there's one character that's presented with like great wealth and all this stuff and positively, it's totally fine. Nobody says, not all South Asians are doctors. Right? You know what I'm saying?
I've heard that.
Well, I don't think it would be a big deal. But because Apu is like corny. Yeah, because he's corny, because he's a stereotype.
And let's acknowledge, doesn't he own the convenience store?
I think so, yeah.
Which isn't like, I mean, like it's sort of middle income, but that's semi. I don't own crap. I don't even own my car yet.
You see? Yeah, exactly. Apu's doing all right.
He's doing all right. But no one acknowledges that. Everyone's just like, hey, Apu, let's eat, give me a hot dog, whatever it is he sells. Because again, 10 years. At least 10 years I haven't seen this show.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one acknowledges that, like his life outside of the.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about this representation claims.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's why we keep arguing.
Right.
But we should stop arguing.
Get a job. Do something.
I have a job, and I'm still arguing about these things.
Not you, but people who are just all up, like really passionate about this stuff, just looking for something to cry racism about.
So you just say everyone's looking for something to bitch about.
Yeah, pretty much.
You sound like my grandfather. You are such an old guy. You're just such an old man.
It's true. It seems true to me. I mean, everything's racist now. Anyway, it's dumb. It's dumb because where do you stop? Isn't there a guy in a wheelchair on Family Guy?
Swanson, yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
Okay. Does he represent all the people in wheelchairs?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, no one's talking about that, right? They're just cherry picking things here and there to call appropriation or stereo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or racist or something.
It's all a cartoon.
Yeah.
If it's even adult animation, it's still a cartoon. And you still got to get upset about a grain. Take your anger with a grain of salt. Or however, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's a freaking cartoon.
Yeah, freaking.
I did say frickin'.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Freaking.
That's what I heard, yeah. Frickin'. Yeah, it's a cartoon, and it's satirical, and it's fine. It's fine.
It's not fine, but it's a cartoon, so stop being offended. Put your big girl panties on and just stop making this the issue.
Exactly.
Change the channel.
Change the channel.
Honestly, there's a crap ton of stuff on Netflix that I don't agree with, and I think is crap, and I don't want my nephews watching. But you know what I do? I just click next on the remote.
You just don't watch it.
Vote.
Yeah, that's it. Vote with your dollars, right? Vote with your clicks. Like, if you don't...
With Jones dollars. That's not my Netflix account.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you don't like The Simpsons because of that, don't watch The Simpsons.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Allow people to make whatever they want to make. And if you don't like it, don't buy it. And then if it doesn't make money, they won't make it anymore. Let the community decide. The whole community. Yeah. Everyone who wants to watch TV.
On that note, why did Gotham get canceled?
Because they're crazy. I have no idea. Do you
See?
know, Madison?
I don't think they ever put out a reason why they canceled
Gotham.
Because I'm like, there's a lot of stuff.
Disney and Fox.
Oh, that might be it. See, it's not our dollars that count. It's them merger dollars. Dollar bills.
Dollar bills. That might be it. That's a real shame. That's a real shame. That's a great show.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to bring up Sense8.
Well,
I personally think after the years of heartache that I have put into this, I think maybe the directors just weren't that easy to work with.
it could. Hey, that happens too.
That could honestly,
It
I
happens.
feel, because they don't release statistics or ratings or anything like that. I feel like maybe after a while, Netflix is like, you know what, these guys are really, or these girls are very hard to work with. They miss deadlines. They spend more money than they're supposed to, and we're just done. And they're
Yeah.
just like, we're gonna can the whole show. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't agree with that because I mean they brought back the Connors on ABC, but whatever.
Oh,
I
the
feel like it was the
Connors.
money.
Huh?
I feel like it was the money.
It was probably money.
Money. Yeah, because you brought up the numbers on that, right?
But remember, there was a video. It wasn't even in the top. What was it? 8 of the most expensive shows on Netflix.
So
So if it's not the most expensive, why not? Never mind. We're not going to
no,
start
go
that debate.
ahead. No, if it's not the most expensive, then what?
Well, because if House of Cards or whatever it was that was the actual most expensive, like they're still making that. The only reason they stopped making that was because what's his face got gropey with a kid back in the 80s.
Allegedly. What? What's is that a Netflix show? House of Cards?
Yes, it is. It was one of the very first.
No way.
Yeah, same with Hemlock Grove was one of the first, but it got canceled after 3 seasons because the
Oh.
quality went down so fast.
Oh,
It was like midway through season 2, and they're like, "What?"
I remember watching that show. Shelby and I watched it for a while, and it's like, man, this is pretty good.
Right, the
Skarsgård is
quality
in
and
there.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
and
fantastic.
it had a good balance of like eerie and supernatural,
Yeah.
but not so much.
And like that nice brotherhood thing that was
Yeah.
like platonic but not platonic. It
Yeah.
was really great.
And then it turned into a montage of just a freak fest. It was
I
weird.
literally didn't even bother with the third season. I know the third season out there, but I read from a review on IMDb because I was like trying to force myself into having a reason to watch it. That like the like the big final battle, they just use shotguns. And I was like, oh, that's boring. This is literally a werewolf and a vampire. The first season finale was epic,
Yeah.
and then like the second season, I'm like,
What are they doing?
I was just
I
watching
remember
this and I was like, what?
the last scene I saw was Skarsgård. I think he was doing something sensual with somebody, and he started like cutting his chest
That
open
was
or
season
something.
1.
That was season 1. I didn't make it past that. I was like, what?
Really?
Yeah.
That was
lost
one of
me.
the weirder parts for me, but I kept
It lost
watching.
me.
Season 2, it was I thought it was really good up until like 2/3 of the way through, and then I was like, especially the finale, I was like, what the was that? And I was just like, I'm out.
Oh, I have to tell you.
What?
I'm sure you didn't watch it yet, but Daredevil season 3.
Yeah, I did not watch it yet.
I finished it.
Okay,
Phenomenal.
awesome.
I can't even tell you. I was telling Madison about it.
Watch,
earlier
it's gonna be
today.
like 3 more years before I ever get it. Just Jessica Jones season 3.
Girl,
Even if they don't cancel it, apparently Netflix is real cancel happy.
can I spoil one thing for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
This is going to tell you how good it is, right?
Okay. Well, I know Wilson Winston.
Wilson Fisk.
Yeah.
The Kingpin.
Yeah, he's back. I know
Yeah.
that much just from the
Yeah.
description.
Yeah.
But didn't they say Bullseye's in it as well?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Girl. Let me tell you. Okay,
gets
so
so
when
excited,
he
he
shows
says,
up.
"Girl."
Yeah, let me just tell you about it because it's going to be a long time before you watch it, right?
At least a couple of weeks. Go ahead.
Okay.
Superhero stuff. I don't mind getting spoiled. I know the end.
Okay,
I know
great.
how in Infinity Wars ends, and
Yeah.
I still haven't even seen the trailer.
Yeah. You know, they didn't even tie that in to season 3 of
Really?
Daredevil. Yeah.
You think that's odd? Is they don't have much like
Connection.
yeah, connection to it because it's all Marvel, but
Yeah.
they don't really because in the first season of of Daredevil, they were like, yeah, the incident and everything like that, and even in Jessica Jones, they were like,
Exactly.
oh, the incident, my parents died, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But like they don't like after that, you're like, oh, that was Avengers
That was
1.
that. Yeah. They were referencing the first Avengers. Yeah.
I haven't even seen the second Avengers, to be honest.
Second.
Oh, yes, I have.
Was Ultron, I think.
Yeah, I saw that one. After that, I stopped watching.
That was overseas. Like the big battle for that was in somewhere else. It wasn't in New York.
Yeah, no, it was somewhere in like a forest or something.
No, it was a town because remember they lifted up the whole
Oh
town.
yeah, it was somewhere in
Yeah.
like don't wanna know.
Somewhere. I don't know. But
I was gonna say Mexico, and
yeah.
I felt like that was gonna be racist.
I don't know what that would
Everything
be
I do, I'm
racist.
like, I'm trying to everything. Honestly, in everyday life, I'm running through is that racist filter.
That is such a problem.
That is
We are
not a
gonna come back
problem.
to
I
that.
don't want to be.
No, it
I
is.
don't want to be culturally insensitive. I grew up in a tiny, tiny town where literally the only races there were like pasty ass people like me and black people. Okay, so
Yeah.
then I moved to Vegas, and there's Hispanics, there's Islanders, there's South Asians, and I was
Sure.
like, holy freaking crap, man! I was like, I had culture shock for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then I went out to Job Corps, and like I had to live with them like in the same room, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna say something so wrong. I don't even. So
But-
everything
but
in my
look.
life, I'm just running through. Is that racist filter?
What? No, you don't have to be that touchy though.
I'm not that touchy. Like I've said, I'm 100% sure I've said some inappropriate stuff. But I'm so sorry. I'm really
It's
trying.
okay. I know you are. I know you are.
I just, every once in a while, like I'll go to make a joke or like think of like a general area of,
Yeah.
like you said, the Avengers movie that they
Right.
lifted in the air. I was like, China, Mexico, that's really broad. Never mind, that's racist.
It's not racist.
I
Though.
know it's not, but I'm
racist.
still just trying.
Okay. Anyway, let's roll it back so I can tell you about Daredevil.
Yeah, tell
season
me.
3.
Sorry.
My gosh. Did you watch The Punisher?
No.
Okay, well,
I am behind.
Okay.
I am so behind. I'm watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Not the Chilling Adventures. I already finished that one. I'm actually watching the school. It's a great time.
Let's go. Okay. Anyway, great show, and he never puts on the suit in the whole season.
Yes.
The whole season.
Okay. Is the suit ruined for some reason?
No. Yeah, no, it's not ruined. It's actually I think it might be ruined.
Because
Actually,
he got toppled by a building, didn't he?
yeah, at the end of the
And-
Defenders.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in the Defenders,
He's
there was a whole
toppled by
building
building.
that just came on him.
Yeah, so it might be ruined. I never really.
You didn't ask
Kept
where the
track.
suit was?
It just was gone, and then he. Oh well, he also. No, it was just gone. He just started using the headband again. I don't freaking know.
Which is, to me, more convenient.
well,
Like,
it's not
if you're gonna
bulletproof.
be okay, yeah, not bulletproof, but he could find one. I mean, like as long as it's loose. But no. Anyway,
Yeah, but he doesn't put it on, and I'm gonna spoil some stuff if that's cool.
that's fine.
Okay, Kingpin is a mastermind. He's my new favorite Marvel villain right now.
I mean, he's a pretty legit villain,
yes.
despite having that sob backstory.
Oh man.
I cannot stand a villain with a backstory that's like, oh, so sorry for me. Just be a bad guy.
He is. I don't feel sorry for him. I mean, he's like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he
He's a
did kill his
psychopath.
dad at like 13,
Yeah,
so I
he-
guess he's not too. It was just like, oh, I'm fat, so feel bad for me.
Yeah,
And then,
I
like, you
bashed
don't.
my dad's head in with a hammer. That's his backstory at 12 years old, and his mom
I think he was like
hid the body.
13, 15,
Okay.
somewhere like that. Because 12 is really young, isn't it?
I think they said 12 in the recent season. They said 12.
Really? Oh crap!
But anyway, they really showcase what Kingpin is about in this one. Like how far ahead he thinks when he's manipulating people to do what he wants, and
Yeah.
and he was basically able to rebuild his empire while in FBI custody.
Does his girlfriend come back?
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I gotta go and watch it.
Yeah. And so anyway, he's being transported at one point as a prisoner, and the convoy gets hijacked,
Mhm.
right? Because people are coming after Fisk and they're trying to get him, and so everyone gets blown up, and the car's upside down, and he's like handcuffed inside, and everyone's dying around him. They're all getting shot, getting shot up, and the FBI's just falling, right? And this gang is coming after him. This gang is trying to get Fisk. And this FBI guy looks in the window and he's talking to Wilson. He's like, stay inside, stay inside. Shot in the neck and he's dead. Like, they're just getting destroyed. And these guys start to converge on the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And they pull out this hacksaw and they start trying to get in there. And sparks are flying. And it's like, well, Fisk is dead. How does he get out of this
Right.
one? And then all of a sudden they start dropping. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah. One shot, one kill. Just boom, in the neck. Right? And this mystery guy comes walking up the street. And I'm thinking, it's the Punisher. It's Frank
No, it's
Castle.
Bullseye.
Yes.
Ah!
But they don't say that. They use his real name. It's Benjamin Poindexter is his name. Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Can't edit
yeah.
that out, I hope.
So he's walking up, pow, 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 just dropping him. And then two guys come up behind him, and he throws his hand out, and two knives go right into their necks,
Oh, a lot of neck kills.
Right.
Dang
And
it, so much.
he, it turns out he works for the FBI. So he was the only survivor of the FBI convoy. And so he saved
Okay.
his prisoner, pretty much,
Yeah.
and took down the gang. And then he continues to, like, guard Wilson Fisk through the show. But they show his backstory, and you know,
And how he got so good?
well, he was just naturally good, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, and they kind of showed it. Yeah, it was just so good because when you start the show, he's a well-adjusted FBI agent, and 13 episodes later, he's a psychopath. And it doesn't feel forced at all. They just,
Really?
oh my gosh,
Oh, that's so
it was incredible how they did it, and the development of Fisk from in the joint to on top with the white suit and just running things was so smooth. And the character development of Karen Page, they show her backstory. They show,
really?
Yes,
Thank goodness, because she's been in like all the seasons of everything, right?
yeah, and she's super annoying, but.
What? No.
I think she is. But they justified it in this one. They did a whole episode just on her that was a prequel to Daredevil and how she got there. I was like, man, this is like top. This is like HBO level stuff right here.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm going to go home and
Yeah.
watch it immediately now.
Yeah,
I really
and-
thought I was going to put it off for a couple of weeks.
And I didn't know it. I felt so stupid because I didn't know that this was Bullseye till halfway through the season, right?
How
I was
did you
just
not
like-
know?
I was
Are
like,
you not
oh.
on Twitter?
No, I'm not on Twitter. I'm old.
Or Facebook or Instagram or anything
I
that
didn't-
advertises the show?
I didn't see anything about it until
What?
until it was released and it said Daredevil season 3. I was like, oh, how about that? Let me check it out.
I knew it was coming weeks ago, and
No.
and
I had no
they had like
idea.
a video with interviewing the guy who plays him, and they were like, "Yeah, Bullseye's here," and I was like, "Oh, cool!" So they're going to
Oh, yeah.
incorporate him.
No,
like I saw the
okay.
trailer and everything. So
Well, it was nice for me because it was a
was
a
total surprise for you.
Total surprise.
I want to be that naive. I really need
Yeah.
to give up social media
Yeah,
again
and he
for longer than a month.
yeah. So I just thought like, oh, he's really good at what he does. He's just a really good operative, you know. I'm like, man. So at one point, he goes after Daredevil.
Okay.
Okay, Poindexter does. He goes after Daredevil, and they're fighting in this office building at the Bulletin.
Okay.
Okay, so there's all these cubicles and stuff, and
Yeah.
the two of them are just going at it. And at one point, they get separated, and Daredevil's like snaking around the cubicles, like listening, you know,
Yeah.
for his location. And Poindexter picks up a handful of pencils from someone's desk, and as soon as Daredevil peeks out, he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. He's just getting pegged with these pencils that are like going through glass and things like that, and it hit me right there. It was like, oh, it's Bullseye.
It took me that long?
Yeah. So he started throwing pencils like a friggin' ninja, you
And
know?
then you're like, "Oh, that's who the
Yeah, I'm
character
like,
is."
oh, I get it.
I get it now.
It's Bullseye. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, and there's still lots more to see. I mean, this was like early stuff that happened, so you should check it out
I'm
because
definitely gonna check it out.
the writing, crazy good. The pace was amazing. Oh, they upgrade the score. It's got like an orchestral symphony score.
Really?
It feels like a superhero show, you know?
Okay.
Man.
Sometimes that takes me out of it, though. I'm like, really?
no,
You're
no,
making
no.
this big a deal about this thing?
No, it's
But if
dark. It's dark enough
Okay.
to be. It's kind of like the Batman scores, you know. It's kind of subdued, but still feels dramatic. You know? It's.
You're so excited.
I'm geeking out. Like I never liked Daredevil so much until I finished that season. I was like, oh my gosh!
You
And
watched 2 seasons without liking it that much?
No, I mean I liked it, but
Okay.
I wasn't geeking out about it. Like,
Then you're like, Bullseye!
yeah. Like Punisher pulled ahead for me. That show is so good, and what they did with him was
I still
amazing.
haven't seen that. I need to.
Yeah, it's great.
I really need to catch up on all my superhero stuff.
You can skip Luke Cage and Iron Fist. They're garbage.
I like Luke as like a character, but I don't feel like I'm gonna end up watching it. The
Mhm.
show.
I almost
'Cause,
met
like,
him.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? You can shove it, okay? You and your damn Walker
Oh,
Stalker cons and everything.
Yeah, I did talk to Elektra for a long time.
Bite me.
We did. She had nobody wanted to talk to her. She didn't have a line. Nothing. I felt so bad. She sat there.
Definitely go up and talk to her. She's awesome.
She sat there for days and nobody was in her line. I was like, dang. So we went up there. We talked with her for like 5-10 minutes because there was nobody else wanting to talk to her. There's nobody
Right.
waiting, you know. So we just went up there. We got an autograph.
I'd have gone up.
It's over there. But she was so nice.
You pointed at the autograph.
Yeah, she.
Wait, whose autograph you got back there with Voldemort?
Voldemort's. Ray Fiennes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. How many celebrities have you met?
Oh, just the ones at Walker Stalker. I didn't meet Rafe.
Oh.
About that.
Oh, okay. I was like, how did you meet him then?
Yeah, so there it was Elektra, Bruce Wayne from Gotham, I got close enough to smell Butch from Gotham.
You might want to rephrase that sentence though, because that was creepy. Like if I got close.
Yeah, he was right there. The Penguin. What's his name?
Robin Lord Taylor.
Robin Lord Taylor. He was very, very nice. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I loved him. Okay, so I loved him and Accepted. That despite the fact that wasn't like a really high grossing movie, I loved that movie, and I actually still have it on DVD. I got to see it beforehand because it was doing one of those previews for reviews, so I got to see it for free. It's like one of my favorite movies.
That's awesome. I love that movie. My aunt's in that movie.
Your aunt's in. He one-ups everything.
I do not.
You do too.
I do not.
You do too. I got to meet this person. I got to meet this person. My aunt's in this movie. What? Like, can I just say what the? Like, the only quote unquote celebrity I've ever seen, besides Karen Slaughter, was Hugh Hefner from afar.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Did
when
you
the
give
show
him
was
an
on.
application? Or
When I was 16, no. I mean, I don't. The issue of Playboy is is a weird one for me. Because, like, you know, women's empowerment and everything, but, like, at the same time, stop selling women.
I mean, I'm not a fan of...
I'm not a fan of him, but his empire is something.
It's something?
Something. I have complicated feelings.
Oh.
Not ones I'm willing to, like, just into a microphone right now.
I got you.
I'll figure it out and come back in 6 months.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Because that's the whole plan is, like, spend a weekend hanging out with everyone every 6 months just to, like, make sure I don't...
I'll schedule you for a podcast every 6 months.
I will let... You'll have to...
I will schedule you.
Yeah, Madison will put you on the books.
Right. So you have to fight with Joan for my time. But...
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll just have Joan over, too.
Oh, you mean finally invite her to a podcast?
Bada boom, bada bing.
So she'll stop telling me how upset she is that she's not podcasting with you?
Fine. Look, I don't do these every day.
She's gonna start a podcast of her own.
Is she? It's gonna be called Spite Dylan Podcast.
I would not be surprised. Welcome to the Spite Dylan Podcast, where all we do is talk about how much I freaking hate Dylan.
Yes.
Like,
She's funny.
she's my bestie, my soulmate.
She's great. What were we talking about when I said, let's back it up to Daredevil? You said something silly. Was it about racism?
Yes.
What was it?
It was about saying
everything
she has to have a racist filter on all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everything in my head goes through a racist filter.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I've
right.
never said the N-word.
Never?
Never.
Not even to be funny?
No, not to be funny or anything. It gives me a sick feeling just to think about saying it.
What about in like a hip-hop song?
No, like, I love singing along to Cardi B, or Nicki Minaj in the car, and I will always just like...
Just skip
Just
over
do like a
Is
skip.
that what you do too? You won't say it either?
I won't say it like in conversation, but if I'm singing along to like Cardi B, I will.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you see that
I
video of some hip-hop artist
Kendrick
brought up...
Lamar.
Is that who it was?
He brought her up on stage, and she said the word, and he's like, you need to bleep that word.
What?
That's how he feels about it. He's entitled to his opinion.
No. He brought her up on stage.
Yeah, it's a complicated issue.
No, it's not. It's simple. He was so stupid for that. And every other white person...
I think he was making a point. Plus, people think he actually was... Or that they'd planted her.
For what?
So that he could bring her up on stage, she could say it, and then he could basically tell the whole world how he feels. Because you knew that was going to start. I mean, like, anyone bringing up someone on stage and then stopping the entire concert. And wasn't this like a couple of weeks before Coachella or something? It was something,
I don't know.
it was a big deal concert as far as I remember, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think he was just like getting out in front of the left. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what everyone's doing now. Like when Roseanne tweets something, they're like, whoa, SJW is going to come after us, and it's going to be bad. So we got to cut her out fast. And they come after Apu, cut him out fast before it gets too bad. You know what I'm saying? So white girl says the N-word on stage. Oh, yeah, I got to stop the concert, let everybody know that I'm not cool with that. And then,
yeah, but he's also the first rapper to get a Nobel Prize.
So what?
So, like, maybe we should listen to him.
No.
No? Okay.
What did he get a Nobel Prize for?
His CD or whatever you call it, album, the most recent one.
For his album?
Yeah.
So they're dropping the standards of the Nobel Prize these days.
See, I figured that's how he was gonna say it.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Didn't you see that on the news? How am I the only one who has these news? Like, who comes across this stuff?
I've been so busy. I haven't seen nothing. But I don't know. It's crappy. It's crappy to bring him up. And you know, before that, every other white person in the audience is saying the words. You know what I mean? Probably.
I'm not.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or they're a fan of it.
I'm still a fan of his. And I mean, not like a big fan, just a couple of his songs, I guess.
Yeah.
But I still don't say the
word.
word.
Well, you say it when you sing it. Mm-hmm. So, I guess you don't have a mic up to you, but do you think it was weird for him to call her out like that?
I haven't heard this story, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he stopped the whole concert. It was like, whoa, 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 whoa. You got to bleep one word, and the crowd's like booing, because she's a white girl saying it.
Who was it?
Kendrick
Lamar. Yeah.
He sang "Humble."
Yeah, but who?
It was just some random girl from the audience. He did one of those things where they bring up. Yeah, and she came up and was singing along with him, and she sang right along with that word, and he was like, "Wow, wow, 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 wow," and he like stopped the whole concert. He's like, "You have to bleep that word when you sing this." And she was like, "Well, I mean, I was just singing along to the song." And he was like, "No, you have to believe it." I was like,
"Yeah."
And yeah, it was the way he approached it was rough.
And then he asked the crowd, he's like, "Should we let her continue? Should we let her stay?" And people were like booing and stuff.
Yeah, but he still did let her stay, and they did continue the song.
That's so crappy. Like, it's his show.
Yeah.
And then he brought her up there, and then he's gonna put her on the spot and ask the crowd if she's allowed to stay up. Like,
that's why I wouldn't be surprised if it was a plant.
I don't think it was a plant.
You don't think it was a plant?
It could have been.
Because that story that Allie was reading us the other day was a plant.
Which story?
The 27 abortions.
Oh yeah, that was a plant.
Yeah, remember when I was like, we need to fact check that, and someone was like, just ran it through an article, and they were like, yeah, that's bull.
It could have been a plant. I don't know, but everything can be a plant.
I was gonna say every you really gotta just wonder these days. Yeah, I was gonna say, especially with cell phones and people just trying to be right so often and trying to get their 15 minutes by being right, that
or
it's
wrong.
Just or wrong.
15 minutes by being wrong.
Okay. Yeah, whatever side you take, they're just trying to get everyone's a fame whore. Everyone wants fame.
For sure, it's fame and money. It's fame.
I mean, you've got a podcast.
Huh?
You've got a podcast. You want followers.
I do.
See, so everyone wants followers, but
yeah, but I'm not gonna sell out to get followers.
No, of course not.
Not with the podcast. I might sell out with music.
he's like, I'll make some really crappy music for a lot of money.
I have made some crappy music for a paycheck, for sure. Yeah.
He's like, I proudly admit that.
I could probably get a lot of viewers if I did a super like radical left.
Oh yeah.
Channel,
or right.
Or I mean, or right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just,
but I'm not going to do that.
Because anyone can go any direction based on, it's like if you believe in ghosts or angels and anything, the person who believes there's never enough evidence.
Right.
And the person who doesn't believe there's never going to be any evidence, despite anything that you put in their face.
You think that's the case with the political climate?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, these days political climate, yeah. Because if no matter what someone is going to say, there's always going to be that person who's like, "Oh, well, it's okay because of this." It's like that's just putting the blinders on. Let's just
for sure they are putting the blinders on. I wouldn't say there's never enough evidence. I would say that people usually just like dodge around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if I don't technically believe in ghosts. Well, technically I do believe in ghosts. So if there's if I was to go to a haunted house with someone who's like vehemently doesn't believe there's anything, any afterworld or anything like that, I could be like, oh, look at, this audio evidence, this visual evidence, this, like a stack of evidence. And they're like, yeah, but that could just be the wind blowing. That's what it feels like to get into a political debate these days.
Yeah.
What do you think we're doing right now?
I guess that's true. I don't know. Some stuff is like statistically,
Some stuff, but even
then you could be
have,
like, well, that stat wasn't done right. The study wasn't conducted correctly.
But even you have heard a statistic before and gone, yeah, but we've had this when we were having our representation debate the very first time.
Yeah.
When it was about bisexual representation, you were like, yeah, but. And I'm like,
yes.
These are the statistics. I was
Well,
like,
look,
just screaming. I was like, never mind, we're done.
There's also, it's nuanced though, because you can have an accurate statistic, but is it relevant? That's usually where I'm sitting. Well, that's why people get mad at me, because they're like, look at this, look at that, look at that. I'm like, yeah, but who cares? Like, change your perspective. Like, why is it relevant? You know what I'm saying? This goes back to the Apu thing. Like, why do you have to associate yourself with the stereotype on TV? You can identify with any other character. They don't have to be the same color. You know? You can identify with Batman if you're black, if you like his values, if you like his heroism, you know? That's where I stand. Is I believe your statistic.
Yeah, but
who cares? Why should I care? And why should you care?
I don't. I care about what kids are going to identify with.
Why?
Because they're the future.
Yeah, but kids are identifying with whatever they want already. So it's like, what's the problem?
I spend too much time on Tumblr and Twitter because I see all the little what are they, South Pacific, the Islander girls that are like,
don't be racist now.
See, I gotta go through a filter, and it takes a pause to do it. Those little, like, you know, girls that were so happy to be represented by Moana, and the, you know, all the girls that were so happy about Wonder Woman. I still haven't seen it. I am so behind. I will rewatch a show 700 times. I will rewatch The Magicians 800 times.
Yep.
But someone's like, throw on a movie. That's like 2 whole hours.
Right. We're like, hey, Kayla, you should watch this movie. And she's like, well, I have to get through Sensei and Magicians again. So it's going to be a while.
Okay. In my defense, I've only watched season 2 of Sense8 once. And I still haven't watched the finale.
Yeah.
I refuse to admit that it's dead. I refuse, because I'm like, if I don't watch the finale, then they'll bring it back, and then that's just season 3, episode 1. That's all it is.
If you haven't seen the end, it's not over.
Exactly.
It's not over yet.
It's 100% what my mind does, okay? My mind is a fucked up, dark ass place, and it's like, if you don't watch it, and you don't look at anything on Tumblr,
yeah, because
Tumblr has a billion GIFs, and I could just piece together the whole episode by the GIFs that I run through.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, that's how everything ended. But I'm just not going to go there. No, I just block everything.
Just don't go.
If you don't acknowledge it, it doesn't happen.
Iron Fist. Like, if I don't watch it, it's not real.
If I don't watch it, it can't be that bad.
Right.
It's exactly how I was with Luke Cage and Iron Fist, because I was like, I watched like the first episode of Iron Fist. I watched the first one, and I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And it could get better. I'm just gonna pray that it did, because I'm not gonna continue watching.
Girl, I was forced to watch the Iron Fist in the Defenders.
Okay. Defenders was better.
It was better, but I had to be exposed to the Iron Fist for that whole show. And
it's just Iron Fist. You don't have to say that.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
He's the immortal Iron Fist.
Oh God, no! He's so annoying. He's the annoying Iron Fist.
But my gosh, he was unbearable.
He was so much more likable as Loris.
For real.
Like, even as like a pompous little dude who barely got a part, I was like, he's likable. And then he was like Iron Fist, and I'm like, oh, he's awful.
He's Iron Fist. He's jaded.
But he's not. Every line was so flat. He didn't put emotion to anything. I was like,
you could tell
dude.
he was trying, which was the problem.
He was really trying.
He was so dramatic.
And the bad guys. The bad guys were so bad at being bad. They were annoying. Oh,
I didn't get it. The Black Sky. I didn't get it.
Those bad guys? Yeah, no, they didn't scare me at all.
But even then, it's like, okay, so the Black Sky is this crazy weapon, right?
No, I remember.
This mysterious, yeah. And then you find out that the Black Sky is Elektra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which seems convenient.
It also seems like she's not that big of a weapon to be. I mean, just shoot her in the head. I don't get it.
Right?
And then
they did kill her. Duh.
Right. And then all the ninjas obey the Black Sky. Yeah. So then when they tell her that she's the Black Sky, why doesn't she just say, hey, everybody,
stop killing
chill out. Yeah, I'm the Black Sky.
Yeah.
HBIC. Chill out. You know what I mean?
I forgot the initials were for a second. I got it.
And They didn't do that. I mean, it was just like
there's
weird.
so many different ways you could go with it, and they're always like, but her motivation. No, just
no.
do better in the writing room.
Yeah.
Honest to goodness, I always get so mad at shows, and then I'm like, oh, this person and this this actor, and then I'm like, the writers just gave them nothing to work with. I just have to like calm down and go.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah. Because like you're a great composer.
Thank you.
But I don't actually know that because I've never listened to your stuff, but I'm going to say you are.
My gosh.
You can edit that out.
I appreciate the assumed compliment.
Yes, I assume you're good at your job because you still have that job.
Hey.
Because I assume people at Iron Fist didn't get... I know that they didn't get a third season.
Yeah.
So they don't have that job anymore.
That's right. And the people who wrote Daredevil have been rewarded by writing The Witcher, although that looks like it's going to be a train wreck.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah.
That
Can
freaking
you
wig.
pull that up, Madison?
Please pull that up. The wig is so Party City. It is so bad.
That's exactly what I said. Exactly what I... Look up Henry Cavill, The Witcher, screen test or something like that.
It's just
My
look up the
gosh.
anyway, yeah, it's gonna come up.
Did you see the fan art of what it could have been?
Oh my god, it was so amazing.
Yes.
It could have been.
People
Oh
were
my God.
posting. They were posting memes that said what I ordered and what I got with
Yes.
those two next to each other.
Yes. Oh my god. And every time I see one of those things, it's like the video game versus the Netflix adaptation.
Yeah.
And then you go into the comments and they're like, but it's not based on the video games, it's based on the book. But the wig is still crap.
It's based on the book. Yeah. It is.
It still looks like crap, okay?
Yeah. And I played the game. It's my favorite game.
They're
of all time.
trying to live up to Game of Thrones.
They
like
are
you've got this bar set so high, and you tell people that you're going for this bar, and then you get it right down here.
Yeah.
Like it right down.
I was so shocked. Like I was talking to my wife about it, and she was like, "Well, it was a screen test. It wasn't like a photoshopped poster. And I was like,
So it's better than the lip button, but
Well,
it could get better.
I suppose." And I said, "Oh, well, was it like leaked? Was it not supposed to be out?" She's like, "No, the studio posted it."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, what? Why are they presenting
Right?
this?"
Like they literally could have just kept it quiet until it
Yeah.
looked better.
It's like
But they thought
years
this
away.
was superb.
My
They
gosh.
thought this was like, this is what we gonna do. Here it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that he's just laughing.
Every time I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh. He
It's
looks
so
like
bad.
elderly Legolas.
I was gonna say there's so many. Yeah, he does. But like,
But worse.
yeah, because the hair is so bad, and and of course you can't judge the costume at all because they're not gonna show
There's
it.
no costume. He's
He's just standing in like a half a armor thing. Like it's bad.
It's like a leather
It's bad.
get up that you'd have Under Armour. Under Armour. It's Under Armour. But yeah. And this, bring up the one after we look at this. Bring up
The fan art.
the fan art. It's so sexy. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But here's another thing though. They did cast Siri,
Yeah.
who's a pivotal like daughter figure of this character. Look at him. What are you doing?
Right, and he's just staring at the camera.
He's
He's
just
not
staring.
even trying to be all that scary. It's
Why,
so bad.
Why would they release this?
Okay, which one are you looking for?
What?
Is
What do
that
you mean?
one? Or
No. Look up Henry Cavill Witcher fan art.
Henry Cavill. Well,
Sorry.
fine. Oh, Jesus, that would have been gorgeous.
Oh, it's this one
This one?
right there.
That one? Oh, yeah, you did show me that one. That
Yeah.
would be amazing. And it's not even that hard. Just grow a beard, do a better wig,
Yeah.
and put some fake scars.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Just right.
Just don't release that until
And-
you're ready to get your ass ripped.
And do you see this? Do you see the swords on his back?
Yeah.
Like that's a main piece of the game.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna say, where's his swords in this?
he's got nothing.
He's got nothing. He's just standing there.
Yeah, it looks like
He might as well be naked.
It's Superman with a disguise, with a bad wig.
It's Clark Kent in cosplay. Oh,
Yeah.
it's. Oh,
It's
see,
so bad.
See, even this is not with his hair pulled back.
That looks better. That looks way better.
So much better, and it looks like him, but with the better contacts. Because what the hell's with orange eyes over there?
Well, in the game, he's supposed to have orange cat eyes.
Okay, but like these look better.
They do look better,
and half the cosplays you see coming out of Comic-Con look better than that.
For sure. And
they need to consult cosplayers.
Yes.
Oh my god.
They do. And when they're writing, what they need to do is say, "Hey, we're doing this show." Right? And then wait for all the fan theories to pour in, and then take the best one and do it.
Right?
That's all you gotta do.
Right?
Batman vs Superman. It's not that hard.
It's not that. This is what we agree on.
Yes. Justice League. Please look. Suicide Squad.
Oh my god, that could have been so
theories.
much better.
Yeah, look at the fan theories and just do it. You're not gonna. No one's gonna call you unoriginal.
They literally, as long as they had written it better, each actor could have stayed in their part.
Yeah, and look at They should have looked at that fan art and said, "Yeah, let's do that.
Let's make
just
that happen."
do that. But I don't know. I also heard, so they did cast this daughter figure.
Yeah.
And in the game, you play Geralt, who's this guy, Henry Cavill. And then Ciri, his daughter figure, is probably like 22, 23.
Yeah.
Okay, the person that they cast is like 13 or something like that. So there's a theory that season 1... Yeah, season 1 is going to be like prequel to the game, and they're young, which is why he doesn't have a beard.
Okay.
And all that. So,
like the annoying people in the comments keep saying, it's not based on the video game, it's based on the books where he doesn't have a beard. So, yay. They're writing that in.
That's just, they shouldn't do that. The game is so much more famous than the books.
Here's a tip to make life easier for everybody. Never look at the comments on Facebook.
Never look at the comments?
Never look at the comments on Facebook, especially the main thread. Like, if you look at like a Netflix commercial, advertisement, whatever, for a show, movie, whatever that they have on there, just don't read the comments. Don't read the comments. Just
why? Just
because they're always negative.
Well, yeah,
there's always negative. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about even everyone agrees that Haunting of Hill House is a great show.
Oh yeah,
and it is. Like, it's not even all that scary to me. It's fantastic though. Like, it's just well done.
Yeah.
And you could go into that comment section and they'd be like, I don't even know what an argument for a negative review of that show would be. But they could hammer it in there because I was that annoying person too, by the way. I went into the comments when Sense8 got canceled. I went every Netflix thing. I was like, so this is why Sense8 got canceled. I was that person, but I only for like a week.
Only movie I ever trolled was Black Panther.
Because you don't think it was...
I think it's garbage. I think it's dookie in a bucket.
Okay, I haven't seen it, but from what I understand, it could be better than the hype.
Oh.
Or, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It could be better than it is, but it's not worth the hype, is what I'm understanding.
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot of movies like that.
But even I don't know. It's just not good. It's not even close to the hype is the thing. Not even close.
You say that, but a lot of other people like it. You are like me, where your standards are up here.
For sure.
And some other people are not.
Uh-huh.
That has nothing to do with... That is not racist because I didn't mention races or anything like that, because it has nothing to do with race. It's just your own judgment of a movie.
Meow, meow, meow.
Did you just meow?
No.
He's just meowing.
Because with the Black Panther, it's unique. Because
are you meowing it because it's a Panther movie?
That was my yeah.
Okay.
With the Black Panther, it's
you okay?
The Black Panther.
Then it would be called the Ninja Panther at that point, and it's just a guy who just randomly comes out and
pantses people. Yeah. Yes. It was unique because, look, everybody knows this. People who never seen a Marvel movie before went out to see that movie.
Yeah.
People who don't really consider themselves like cinema folks, went to see the movie, went and spent the money. I heard people tell me that, like, oh, hey, we better go see Black Panther this weekend to support the black people. You know, it's the black movie, so we got to be supportive.
So
I'm like, what?
to pause you, there was a lot of hype that it was the first black superhero. Not quite the case.
Not the case at all.
The first well done black superhero movie, as far as I understand, because the couple of ones that I saw the example of, like Shaq in whatever that movie was. Which movie am I thinking of?
I don't know.
It's a really badly done one though. I've only seen clips that I know that I would have walked out of the theater after 5 minutes. That was the Genie though. There was another one.
I have no idea. But Blade was the one I was thinking of.
Oh yeah, no, that one was really done. That was well done, except for the third one, which is amazing.
I love the third one.
Really?
My favorite one.
Have you heard the behind the scenes crap?
No.
Oh my god.
Love that
He
movie.
would not. Okay, Wesley Snipes refused basically to film at all. His stunt double did like 90% of the work. The only way that he would communicate with the director would be via post-its. And he would sign the post-its Blade. He was
Sounds like he lost his mind.
He lost his grip on reality.
Yeah.
Hardcore, but wouldn't talk to the director.
Can you imagine?
Seriously, I want to look up the Patton Oswalt interviews because he's just like, the fact that this movie is made at all is a freaking miracle.
I
Yeah.
think it's because Ryan Reynolds is in it.
I hope it's because Ryan Reynolds is in it.
I never saw it.
I love
It-
Ryan Reynolds in that movie.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once. I need to rewatch it. I remember that Norman Reedus is in the second one, which would have been like my only reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you done with the tablet?
Google?
Should I just
Yeah,
move
because
it?
it's really
It's garbage.
slow. Yeah.
It's really, how bad is your Wi-Fi that she's choosing
it's
one over the
I
not
think
other?
the
it's just
Wi-Fi.
bogged down.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that was like the only way I had seen Norman Reedus before The Walking Dead. And then, of course, after I'd watched The Walking Dead, my sister had Boondock Saints on in her house. I was right?
Yeah.
What was I saying?
I don't remember. Black Panther's not that good a movie.
It's not. It's not.
First black superhero.
Okay, so
Oh yeah, not the first black superhero.
So on that note, but to divert, as I said earlier, there's a small controversy, not quite controversy, just people disagreeing on Twitter. Yay.
Yeah.
About Rebel Wilson's new movie, Isn't It Romantic? Where she's a plus-size woman in a rom-com.
Okay.
I'm very excited for this movie.
Okay.
It looks hilarious. I love Rebel Wilson. But she is quoted as saying she's very happy to be the first plus-size one with a rom-com. Now, if you don't remember, back in the early to late aughts, Queen Latifah was in at least 2 rom-coms, and she is a plus-size woman.
Yes.
You don't remember? Oh, well, she was.
What
And
were
they
they?
were adorable movies. Last Holiday, Just Right were the 2 ones that I saw. I did see Last Holiday. I don't remember seeing Just Right, but I feel like it was probably some really cutesy rom-com.
Yeah.
And I know that there might have been
Hasn't Melissa
couple of more.
McCarthy been in some rom-coms?
I don't think-
Would you call them rom-coms?
I wouldn't call them rom-coms because I feel like the ones that she does are more like they're not so heavily based in the romantic aspect of the comedy. It's just a comedy.
Okay.
But yeah, she was, like I said, she was quoted as saying she was happy to be the first plus-size girl with a rom-com.
Yeah.
And someone simply called her out. They were like, "Excuse me, Queen Latifah," and Monique apparently. And she instead of responding, "Oh, my bad," like,
What'd she say?
or just taking it down, she was like, "Well, it depends. Were they the lead in it, and were they technically plus size at the time of the movie?" And I'm like,
Technically, what is
and
technically
I'm like,
plus
first of
size?
all, anything over a size 8 is plus size in Hollywood. Let's be fucking serious.
What is
Okay.
technically?
I was gonna say
Were
technically.
they
Well,
technically
if-
plus size? Did they like get certified plus size? Or
right? Like, what did I?
were they like posing as plus size?
Right? Like, let's be serious. Queen Latifah has always been like
Plus size. She's always been.
Yeah, she's always been plus size, and that's always been like really helpful for my body image because she's beautiful and she's bigger. And but it's like the refusal to apologize and just be like, "Hey, my bad," and like take it down, because I would have taken it down. The only time I've only ever been cyberbullied one time. It was over. It was on Twitter.
What was it? What happened?
You remember the SeaTac incident?
No.
Just a couple of months ago? Were you there?
Mm-hmm.
You remember? Okay. Yeah, there was a guy who stole a plane from the hangar.
Oh, yeah.
You remember this?
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened?
Okay.
Just briefly. What
happened? I think he was a mechanic of some type, worked in the hangar, and essentially had mental illness and went manic and stole a plane.
Right.
And he was in the air for probably an hour. And not ACARS. Air traffic control was on with him, and they're talking to him, and it's like you can hear him being like, "Oh man, got family out there. I'm really sorry I did this and everything like that." And then he just crashes into an island it's only inhabited by 12 people. As far as I'm aware, no one else was hurt.
Okay.
It was just him and the plane. Okay.
Yeah.
And I went online after we found out that he was in the middle of a manic episode when all this happened and everything like that. I'm like, let's be respectful of the people that just lost someone in their life.
Yeah.
And I work for an airline, and I'm 29 at the time, and he was 29. I was like, so I'm seeing parallels, and I'm like, so let's just be kind to his family. Let's not keep making these jokes. We as a society love to find the funny in a dark place because that's how we cope.
Sure.
But let's not do that in this case. And just let's try not to.
Yeah.
Because we're all going to. I was making jokes while it was happening.
Yeah.
But let's just try and remember that someone lost their loved one today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at least 2 people got online and felt the necessity to put on my Twitter page, "Oh, you should quit, what the F," and, I can't even remember. Yeah, just trolling. And I was like, really? This is why you come at me? Because I'm saying let's be respectful?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Glad we're in this climate.
Yeah.
But if I thought I was wrong, if someone had come at me with some stats, or with some facts, like whoever it was did with Rebel Wilson, I would have been like, "Oh, my bad," and I'd have just taken it down. Which is my point.
Okay. So I think I agree with you. That was the wrong. I mean, I don't know if she had to take it down, but it was the wrong.
Okay, don't take it down, but at least just apologize. I've done that before where I posted something and someone actually did change my mind. So I was like, "Oh, thanks." And I was like, "Oh,
it seems
cool."
like a weird battle to pick. Were they technically plus size?
Right.
Were they categorized as rom-coms for real?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, wait.
Reading through it, I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. I have to ask you something. Actually, hang on. I got
Okay.
Megyn Kelly. Let's talk about Megyn Kelly.
Oh, I didn't look up any of that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I totally
could you
blanked.
Give her quotes from the show?
Okay, yeah, because I didn't look up anything.
Yeah. Very interesting situation. Actually, it's not that interesting. It's pretty stupid. But
doesn't she just say some racist stuff and people told her to stop saying racist stuff? I feel like that's what this is. I feel like that's how this conversation is going to go. She was a racist.
This is going to, It was before Halloween, and she had some roundtable discussion show, kind of like The View.
Yeah.
And blackface for Halloween came up. So white people painting themselves as black characters, okay, or black people painting themselves as white characters. She was talking about both, and she said, I don't see a problem with that. Back in my day, people did that. There was no issues if you were representing a character. There was not a problem,
Yeah.
That's all she said. Well, that was the point. She's like, this happened when I was a kid, and it was fine. Why is it so crazy today? Okay, so then everyone freaked out. She's a racist. She said racist stuff. So then the next day, she starts her show with an apology that looks like a hostage video, right?
For real?
No.
Okay, I was just saying you're exaggerating. Please exaggerate.
Yeah, that's my exaggeration.
Okay.
But, yeah, she's looking in the camera, teary-eyed and lip quivering, and she's like, I said some things that were offensive, and I'm so sorry.
Oh.
And I'm like, Callie, come on. You're just going to roll over like that? Come on now. Yeah, and then now she's like on her way out of NBC. They don't want her no more, and they're negotiating some sort of like plea deal. It's a plea deal. Like we'll give you this much money to leave. You know? Yeah, like if you plead guilty and leave, this is what you get. You know? Yeah, they're negotiating. I don't think she's coming back, and her show's toast over that. So if you can't tell,
okay,
I think the whole thing is dumb.
You think the whole thing is dumb. I agree that putting blackface on to be a like generalized character. Actually, putting blackface on, I'm just gonna not go there. But I'm just saying, like dressing up as a culture.
Okay. As
a generalized culture, kind of racist. But if you do dress up as so there was a College Humor or whatever video about it,
Yeah.
and I think it did make a good point that if you're dressing up as a specific character that you know a lot about, like if I were to dress up as one of the characters from Sense8 or Magicians, I don't think that'd be so wrong.
Right.
But then
and
again,
paint yourself black?
I would not paint myself black. I would not do any face colorings of my own. Yeah, I would probably say it's wrong. Because you could easily, like, since I'm only talking about, like, dressing up as a show, you could probably just, you know, make a specific outfit that was, like, just hammers home what you're doing and not have to paint your face. It just, there's something that feels dirty about it to me, and I can't put my finger on it because I'm so white.
No, it's not because you're so white.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is because it's not my place.
It is your place.
No, it's not.
As a person to judge whether something is right or wrong. You don't have to be black.
Yes, but I'm a person with white privilege.
Okay, wait. We'll save that topic for after this topic.
Okay.
Because no, you're not. But backing it up, you got me triggered.
Oh my God, he's so triggered. I should just
Okay.
say Lindsay Sterling right now. Just watch him freak out. Just watch
I
him
will kick you out
explode.
of this place so fast.
Sorry. I thought he was just going to kick me. He was going to kick me out of the house.
Kick
Okay.
you out. Okay. Sterling's off limits. Okay. Painting yourself as a character, I don't have any issue with. What if you want to cosplay a cyborg from Justice League?
Isn't he purple?
No, he's metal mostly.
Oh, metal? So I'd be painting myself
Cyborg.
silver.
But not your face would be brown. He's a black guy.
I was going to say, someone help me out here because I'm out of my depths. I don't know what character you're talking about.
Yeah. My stomach.
There's probably a mask that you could put on instead of painting yourself.
What's the difference?
I don't know. Oh.
Cyborg.
Well, it'd also be gender flipped for me, but...
Yeah, but okay, so I don't see an issue with it. It's not reminiscent of what blackface was back in the day, you know. It's not that, and that's not.
So
the
you agree
intention.
that a blackface in some form is wrong?
Well, yeah, in the form that it used to be, like regularly used, you know.
So if it's not used as often, it's not wrong?
No. Back then, it was used as either a mockery or to replace, like they wouldn't allow black people to act, you know what I'm saying? So if they wanted a black character, they just hired a white guy to do
Okay,
it.
so your argument is I should be able to dress up as a black person because now black people are allowed to be in movies.
Well, the motive back then was racist, is the thing. The motive back then was racist, and it was generally done as a stereotype, as a mockery. So it wasn't just painting themselves black. It was also painting themselves black, you know, and jumping around like a chimp and, you know, talking a certain way. And that's blackface, like historical blackface.
Yeah, but we're not historic. And if I were to put black or paint on and put on stereotypically gangster clothes, don't you think that's a little insensitive and racist?
To gangsters, maybe, not to black people, though.
Okay, but that's if I had painted my face and painted your face. Yeah.
Okay, so if you said I'm going as a black guy for Halloween, and this is what a black guy is, yeah, you'd be a little
that's
racist.
Really specific. You really like your specifics.
But, no, but it's important. If you say I'm going as Cyborg, who happens to be black, and you paint yourself black to be Cyborg, you're not saying Cyborg represents all the blacks, and I'm just going as a general black guy, and mostly black guys are made out of robotic parts. No, you're just saying this guy is Cyborg, and that's who I'm going to be. But if you say, hey, I'm going to go be a black guy for Halloween, and you do anything more than just painting yourself black, it becomes like you're associating whatever clothes you put on as being specifically black, which I think is wrong. Other people would say it's black culture and it's fine, but I would say it's wrong to do that.
Yeah.
You know, but
I just generally avoid painting myself in any way because I don't even put makeup on most of the time.
I know, but The Weeknd went as Beetlejuice.
Ah.
Isn't he dead? Beetlejuice is dead.
Yeah, so you put on the flowery colored makeup.
Yeah. So he's a white guy who's dead, so he's pale. He's pale.
I was going to say, I thought you said The Weeknd did. He's not white.
No, The Weeknd's black, but he went as Beetlejuice, so isn't that...
Well, that's a character who is dead.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think they really played up the white face paint in the movie. So even if he was played by a black guy, it would have been a very white look.
But not that white. I don't think dead black people are as white as dead white people.
I don't know. I don't know any dead people.
I don't think so. I'm just saying. There's a clear double standard. But... So, yeah, I don't see a problem with it, man. If you go as the Hulk, you gotta be green. You gotta be green.
Yeah.
If you go as Jack Skellington, you gotta have a white head. You know what I mean? If you go as Whoopi Goldberg, you gotta be black.
Well, I wouldn't go as Whoopi.
If someone wanted to, though. If they wanted to be Whoopi, they'd paint themselves black and shave their eyebrows off. And they'd be Whoopi Goldberg.
Does she not have eyebrows?
She's got no eyebrows.
She doesn't have eyebrows?
No.
You're blowing my mind right now. I don't care what skin color she has. I want to know if she has eyebrows.
They put some dreadlocks on. She'd be Whoopi Goldberg.
Let me see. Holy crap. How did I never notice that?
There's no eyebrows. She rocks it. She rocks it.
I mean, yeah, I've never...
It works.
She rocks the crap out of it because I never noticed.
I know.
Jeffree Star doesn't have eyebrows.
Well, he paints them on.
Yeah.
There's a lot...
Not often.
There was a lot of girls in Job Corps that did that too. That's not racist. That's just the facts.
I don't know why that would even be racist. It's almost racist for you to say.
Because I'm always going through the filter. Okay, I'm always scared.
I know the filter is bad for you. You don't have to be so tiptoey. Why is Job Corps? I don't understand the connection.
Because so the girls at Job Corps were your typical cholas. They would actually shave off their eyebrows and.
What's a chola?
Can you please look up chola? CHOLA.
Make sure you save the Megyn Kelly quotes too.
Oh, sorry, I forgot we were even on that subject.
Yeah.
I know we are, but I feel like she got lost way back there.
Latin American woman or girl with Indian blood.
Huh.
That's what it says.
Okay, look up the images.
Dictionary.com.
Look up the images, though, because there's a typical look, okay?
There's a stereotype for cholo.
Chola. Cholo is a guy. Yeah, see? Yeah, like that.
That's a chola.
The eyebrows.
Okay.
That's what I was talking about. That's why I was afraid, okay?
Oh, well,
that's the filter. Because I don't want to get my ass beat 10 years ago. Seriously, white girl from Pennsylvania in Reno, Nevada, in the epicenter of culture, as I thought it was. I was like, I'm just going to get my ass beat all the time if I say a word. No, I was scared all the time. Because I don't want to be racist. I'm a nice person.
You're not racist.
That's the thing, though, is I know I'm not, but I'm always trying to make sure I'm not.
You know what? Most people nowadays that are trying not to be racist are backwards racist, right? When they say something is black culture, they're being backwards racist. Yeah, they're just turning it around like, oh, you can't have dreads because that's black culture. But if I said, oh, if you have dreads, you must be black because only the blacks have them, that's racist. That's like a collectivist way of thinking. Like, you know, nobody else can have the dreads. But if you say, that's my culture, then, I mean, it's weird. It's weird.
I get it.
You know,
I get it. No, I get it.
They're associating a trait with a race as if it only applies or should only apply to that race, which is kind of racism. You know? you can't do this because you're white and you're not black. Okay.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, there's definitely middle ground to be reached that I feel, or that like I'm definitely agreeing with you, because I don't do anything like clothing or style, makeup or anything wise, and think like, oh, is this is this thing racist or whatever, because it's just what I think looks good on me.
Exactly.
But I'm like, white people have more stuff catered towards them, like makeup. There's a lot of pale shades of foundation. You know what I mean?
There's dark shades too. There's all shades.
There's okay.
Here's where the word spectrum is appropriate. There is a spectrum of shades.
Yeah,
of foundation.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is advertised is typically Caucasian.
What is advertised?
Yeah,
okay.
like when they advertise, oh, the new Maybelline color, 99.9% of the time, it's someone pasty.
Okay.
I think like the darkest you're ever gonna get is like Sofia Vergara. And then every once in a blue moon you get like, Queen Latifah or someone in there who's also on the lighter shaded spectrum.
She is. It could be due to supply and demand.
Okay, but now Rihanna has Fenty Beauty, and she's got a very nice spectrum for the darker shaded. I feel really racist talking about this, by the way.
For the midnight black.
Oh my God!
Right, that's what you're saying.
Girls that were my roommate, yeah.
Yeah. So here's my thing. You might be absolutely right. It could be racially motivated.
Right.
Most of the time when I deal with these issues, I just don't like people jumping to the conclusion that the result is racist.
Okay, yes.
Because it could be that they sell more shades because now you're talking about a visual thing, right? If there's a color on your face, it's going to change depending on what backdrop it's on. It's going to look different. Like if you have a certain shade of green and you put it on a red backdrop, it's going to pop.
Yeah.
And if you put it on a different background, it's going to not pop so much. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So when you're dealing with makeup,
Well, that's why we have primer. Do you know about primer?
Yeah, not everyone's going to use the same primer, though.
Okay, but primer is basically the same thing. It's like white.
No. I'm talking about white skin versus black skin. Contrast.
Okay.
Yeah, so not every lipstick that looks good on a white girl is going to look as good on a black girl.
Yeah.
They'll need a different shade to balance out how the eyes process the color, right? So now you have different products, like some that generally sell better for black people and some that sell better for white people. Now, what if the white lipstick outsells, it's just like, for whatever reason, outsells the black lipstick? Well, then there's a demand. So, of course, in the next ad, they're going to push whatever product is selling. Now, I haven't looked at any stats. I'm just saying there's plausible deniability to the claim that it's racist.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Do you have something to say?
I was just going to give an example.
Oh, okay. Do you want to say it in the microphone?
Because I follow beauty a lot. Okay. So, like Tarte Cosmetics, that's a brand that I use and I really like. They have really good line of concealers, and it's got like 50 shades, which is really good and really progressive. And then they were making a foundation that was the same formula as their like famous concealer. And they took like months to make it, and then they released it, and it had like 20 shades of white and like 3 shades of black. And everyone was like really upset because this is like high-end makeup. It's like $50 a bottle. And they had 4 shades for black people.
Yeah.
And it was pathetic. It really was. It was really pathetic.
Someone agrees with me.
It was sad. Honestly, like people were really mad at Tarte for it.
That's what I was.
And then people went on Instagram and stuff at them. Why do you only have this many shades for people of color? And they were like, well, the line's not done. We wanted to put it out. We didn't want to make everyone wait. longer.
Just the black people.
Just yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly what everyone said. So I mean, Rihanna, she spent years perfecting her line before she put it out. And when she put it out, there's like 50-something shades.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying about like the supply and demand, and not everything is like inherently racist. But that is a factor people need to consider.
Right.
Whenever they're doing something, especially with
I was gonna
cosmetics.
say, there's no one's gonna walk in.
You're fine, yeah.
No one's gonna walk into a store who is, as you said, midnight black,
Yeah.
and see a shade that only goes up to Queen Latifah, and be like, "Oh, this is totally my color," because they're gonna
get
do
that.
their face foundation, and then like neck down is all a different color,
Yes.
and that's not appealing to anybody.
Sure.
I've done that. Up until recently, when Miss Makeup over here actually figured out my foundation
happens.
color. I was wearing the wrong shade for 30 years. Okay, I'm just now getting my foundation color in.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to look like.
I used to see this girl that worked at Chipotle,
Yeah,
and if you look at her makeup, just her face,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, you really know what you're doing. But then you can see the solid line where the color changes, and it's like, dang, you do not look that good, girl. You is lying to me. Yep.
I mean, but it's not about lying to somebody. It's
No, I
about
know.
okay. I was
Yeah.
gonna say I don't like that
I
line.
know. No, I was being,
Yeah.
it's being funny. But
I'm gonna say I hate when guys say
Anyway.
it's false advertising. Listen, I put it on for myself, I'm not advertising stuff.
although there's an interesting, we still have to go back to Megyn Kelly, but
the quotes.
I know. Let me just ask this though. I was listening to Jordan B. Peterson because
Who
I
is?
like him. Huh?
Who is he?
Who is he? He's a clinical psychologist.
Okay, go ahead. That's all I need.
Yeah, he's got a couple books out. Fascinating guy.
Yeah.
Like wicked smart. He rose to fame due to controversy over transgender pronouns.
Yeah, you told me about this
I
guy.
told you about it,
Okay.
So anyway, I was listening to him one day and he was talking about men and women working together. I think he was talking about the feminist movement or the Me Too movement or something like that.
Okay.
And he's like, men and women have only been working together for less than 100 years, He's like, we still don't know if we can do that, pretty much. He's like, we still don't know if it's healthy to do that. And he's a really interesting guy, okay? And he's not saying, segregate everything. He's just saying, let's look at it. Like, where's the line for sexual harassment? Claims are being put forward a lot more now for a lot of different things, and like the definition of harassment has sort of slipped and been a little bit more lenient, in light of the movement. And he's like, we don't really know, like, where's the line? I think it's Netflix or some big studio at their office. You can't maintain eye contact with the opposite sex for more than 15 seconds.
Okay, that's extreme.
Okay.
I was gonna say I was waiting for you to give me an example because everything
Yeah.
you're saying, I'm like, you are wrong. But
Yeah.
okay.
But like, there's an example of that's their line. You know
I was
what
gonna
I'm
say
saying?
we've had solid eye contact for
The
like
whole
an hour
time.
now.
So we'd be written up for getting nasty at work because we're maintaining eye contact.
That is a bit excessive.
Yeah. Or if you compliment, like if a guy compliments a woman's outfit or something, like, is he coming on to her? Is he not? You know what I'm saying?
It's
But anyway, he took it back to attraction. He was trying to define attraction. And he's like, well, here's one thing. How about we just introduce uniforms? Everyone looks exactly the same. Including makeup. No makeup.
okay. I'll grab my makeup.
But
Sorry.
some people...
she got a look on her face.
It's fun.
And then some people say, well, I like to look good. I'm not like trying to come on to anybody. I'm just trying to look good. And he's like, okay, well, what does look good mean? What does that mean? It means
how
attractive.
You feel you look good. Like I feel like I look good right now because I'm wearing eyeliner and eyeshadow.
Sure, but what is good?
But
What
like
is
I
good?
don't feel like I'm trying to hit on you.
No, I know, but you want to look attractive.
Yeah, for myself.
Okay.
I have no intention of like luring a husband by putting on
Sure.
eyeliner. It's
Sure.
just eyeliner.
But you still want to look attractive.
For me, yes.
But you're not attracted to you.
I
Right.
want to be able to walk it like when I come out of the bathroom stall every time,
Yeah.
I look at myself. And like, if I'm not wearing makeup and my clothes are just not fitting right that day and whatever, I look at them like, oh, look at you. And then like I'll come, and then there's other days where I'm like, you know, wearing the right, like, wearing the shapely thing and doing the makeup and the hair's looking good. Sure. And I come out of the bathroom stall, I'm like, ooh, look at you, girl, you looking good. Yeah, and I'm not like, I want to fuck me. No, screw me. Know. I'm just saying, like, this is how I feel my most confident in myself.
And where does confidence come from? It comes from looking attractive, what you think is attractive, and what is. Basically, he boiled it down to. Like at the most primitive level, it is sexualized still. Even though you're not consciously thinking I'm putting on the eyeliner or I'm a guy like muscly guys wearing a tight shirt to get laid today. You're not thinking that. But you're just thinking I just want to look attractive. Okay, well what is attractive? It's inherently sexualized.
What about the asexuals?
Asexuals?
Yeah.
I guess they would be. No, I'm sure they still want to look attractive.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
So they have no sexual feeling, but yet they want to feel attractive. But you're
Maybe
saying it's
don't.
all sexual.
Actually, I know one or two asexuals, and they seem to not care that much at all. But that's anecdotal.
Maybe you should ask them on the podcast.
I will. Yeah, I should ask them. But you know, like if a woman wears a business skirt to work,
sure.
You know, does that create a sexual environment?
No.
Okay, he would say. Maybe. You know? Like, why did she wear the skirt? Why is she showing her legs? To look attractive, to looks cute, it looks nice. What does that mean? Pick it apart. What does it actually mean? It boils down to sexual attraction. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he explains it way better because he's a pro. But that was his point, and it just got me thinking like,
I don't usually wear a skirt to feel attractive. I usually if I'm usually wearing this is for comfort. Okay. I love that you just gestured. Because it's actually been brought up quite a lot. Like, well, not quite a lot. But no, people always mention like, you know, my boobs are out. I'm like, first of all, they're not out. But this is how I feel comfortable.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
When it comes to what I wear shirt-wise,
yeah.
Most of the time, spaghetti straps and down to this level, it's because this is how I'm comfortable. I don't feel like the shirt is going to ride up and start to touch my neck. I don't like my neck being touched. Yeah. Anything from like here, like my neck up, don't touch. Yeah. Because it probably goes back to childhood when my mom would pop my zits.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's a reason I just don't like neck up being touched.
Yeah.
And even with cloth. Yeah. So I wear what I wear.
I understand. But when you do make an effort to look attractive, you know, is that inherently sexualized? I think is what he was saying. And then people show up to work with makeup on or with earrings on.
When I walk into work wearing my best outfit,
yeah,
I usually feel if you guys didn't know Billy, but if Billy would have mentioned it, I'd been like, oh, thanks. And then people put the rumor out that me and him were sleeping together quite frequently, which I did not appreciate. But like if I were to walk in and Madison or Crystal or Steph would be like, I love that outfit. You look working it today, girl. I'm like, yeah. Because that's my confidence. That's when another person who I'm not attracted to notices me and says, you working it. And I'm like, yes.
But doesn't that equate to kind of the same thing? Like I'm not gay, but you guys know I love me some Jason Momoa. He's working it.
He's always working it.
When I say that, I mean if I was gay,
you'd get on that.
I'd let him work it. Is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like,
never mind.
I mean, it's got kind of a point. Like when you boil it down, what does attraction mean? It means sexual attraction. At the end of the day, sexual attraction. Even if you're not trying to get laid, or even if you get a compliment from someone who's not sexually attracted to you.
You basically want everyone to think that you are stereotypically, symmetrically pretty.
I suppose. Or strong, you know, or I don't know. Whatever your version of it is, it boils down to sexualization. And as long as people are allowed to do that, are we going to have trouble with men and women working together, spending time, you know?
I've worked at the same office for 6 years, and besides the Billy rumor,
Yeah.
Fine.
Well, I know, like, I've never had an issue either. I'm just saying, he's talking on a broad humanity level, you know, because it's only been 100 years, people working together equally. And he's like, 1,000 years from now, will we still be working together? Or will it get too much? Will it become too hard to delineate between a compliment and a harassment to where we just have to
I hope not.
separate everything again?
Because like kind of goes back to like everyone's just trying to like jump the gun.
Yeah.
You know, like because you can't, like I said, you can't tell someone they're not offended because that's their feelings.
But you can analyze whether or not the offense is like objectively justified, you know? You can't tell a crazy person they're not crazy because they're crazy. They're not going to get it. But you can judge them as he's acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I feel. Like, yeah, they're allowed to be offensive, or they're allowed to say, they're allowed to feel that something was offensive. Okay. But to take it back to the race conversation, they're not allowed to just say that was racist and just it is racist. Have it can be considered racist. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. You can't.
So if I'm offended by something, we should discuss it.
Yeah. If you're offended, hey, whatever offends you. I can't control that. But you don't get to conflate something that is offensive with something that is racist and have it mean the same thing. Racism is offensive, but something that is offensive is not necessarily racist. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, we're like on the same line.
Yeah.
But like we're like you're slightly to one end and I'm slightly to the other.
Yeah. It's like we're both walking along the same train track, just on opposite sides. And we're like, hey, you thirsty? You doing all right?
You thirsty?
You know, you need a drink of water? No, we're good. We're just walking along. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get to speak this freely normally, though. That's the thing. So, we got to worry about eyes and ears.
Yeah. I was just say you work right next to like a...
Where should we backtrack now? Because we are so good at bunny hopping across
Megyn Kelly, clearly, because she's just got it pulled up.
Yeah. So we were talking about blackface for Halloween.
Okay.
Now let's talk about what actually happened with Megyn Kelly and if there should be like ramifications or
we always debate personal ramifications, don't we?
I know.
Oh, every time I'm over here, it's just there's a microphone and professional ramifications for personal things.
Yes.
I don't.
Get it. You have it up there. I can just read it.
I mean, maybe it's a matter of ratings. Maybe she's just not pulling in the ratings. That's why they want her out.
Yeah, but they're using this as a scapegoat, and people are agreeing as to this.
Okay.
Pisses me off.
Go for it.
Al Roker responded to this whole thing.
Okay.
Right. He's like the meteorologist on the same show.
Yeah.
Same network, whatever.
I remember.
He's like, Megyn Kelly did apologize, but she owes a bigger apology to all people of color in the country. I was like, Al, why do you think you can speak for Dylan? You can speak for me.
See?
That's backwards racism.
I was gonna say that's where things get murky when people are like, you should do this because I feel this way for everyone.
For all the people of color, yeah.
Like I'm sorry, but who's an annoying white person? Don't say the president.
I wasn't going to.
Okay.
I
know.
An annoying white person. Okay, here we go. We got this. Okay.
Gotta have one.
Oh, Iron Fist.
Okay.
The worst.
Okay, I was talking about like a real life person, but sure, Iron. Oh, thank you.
Adam Sandler.
She pulling it in for me. He doesn't speak for me.
Exactly.
He also doesn't speak for all Jews.
Nobody speaks for all of anybody.
No one speaks for everybody.
No.
That's the thing. Like,
not even look. The only way you could do that is if you share an ideology. But even then, there's so many different variants of ideologies. It's like you could say that Christians could speak for other Christians. No. Because there's so many different spin-offs and like ways that people believe. Yeah.
Exactly.
You can't even say that Democrats speak for other Democrats because they don't believe the same thing. It's crazy. So to imply that all black people have equally responded the same way to this instance is racist. I
was going to say there's different black people just in our office that feel the different ways about the about this quote unquote controversy.
Yeah.
It's like, everyone make up your own freaking mind at this point.
Yeah, and somebody from the NAACP also spoke out and said, I think she like explicitly said that there's no person of color in the country that thinks this is okay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Something like that. She spoke for everybody and said nobody out there that is a person of color would think that this is acceptable. I'm like, girl, let me give you my number. Because you can't speak for me.
Right, what do they do again? The NAA, what's the
National Association of the Advancement of Colored People.
Ew.
I know.
That's not a good term. Why don't they change their name? Sorry.
Yeah, that's what's hilarious. Like in PC culture, you can't say colored people no more. But the biggest organization that's advocating for the advancement of people of color is called Of Colored People. NAA colored people.
Yeah, but they're not representing all colors, right? They're just representing the African Americans, right?
The blacks, yeah.
That is problematic.
Colored people, yeah.
So problematic.
I'm saying.
Oh, I don't like that. That made me, ugh.
Yeah, right? It's weird. But, Madison, why don't you tell us what Megan said?
Okay. Here's a quote from Fox 2. I'm a little short.
I know. Can you scoot?
Here we go. All right. All good. Okay. So, quote, "But what is racist?" Kelly asked. "Because you do get in trouble if you are a white person who puts on blackface on Halloween, or a black person who puts on whiteface for Halloween. Back when I was a kid, that was okay, as long as you were dressing up as a character." Okay, continuing on. Quote, "There was a controversy on The Real Housewives of New York, and she dressed as Diana Ross, and she made her skin look darker than it really is, and people said that was racist," Kelly said. "And I don't know, I felt like, who doesn't love Diana Ross? She wants to look like Diana Ross for one day. I don't know how that got racist on Halloween." Okay.
You good?
People were arguing with her, like, on the thing. Someone said, "If you think it's offensive, it probably is. Whatever happened to just
filter.
manners and polite society?" And then Kelly says, "But on Halloween, on Halloween you've got guys running around with fake axes coming out of their heads. It's going to be jarring." And then a correspondent on the show, Jacob Sorberoff. "I haven't seen it. I've not seen it, but it sounds a little racist to me," he said. And that was pretty much how the conversation went. And then she just brought up the Diana Ross thing again. You know, that's an example to me. I don't think it's controversial for someone dressing up as Diana Ross to make themselves look like this amazing woman. And then after that, it's the quotes about apologizing for it.
Okay.
Yeah, so not... Oh, is that in your way?
No, you just, like, moved it and my phone moved, so I figured you were...
Sorry.
Now it's really close to your face, so I figured you were supposed to, like... You're, like, making out with the mic.
She didn't say nothing wrong. She said nothing wrong. And even if she did, the show is about having a discourse. It's about intellectual conversation. Even if she said something offensive, what? Fine. Let them talk.
A problem people had with it was there were no people of color present
on the panel
during this conversation.
Okay.
That's
one
of the things mentioned in
Is that
this
true?
article.
Can you pull up a picture? I don't think that's true.
Yeah, sure.
Sweetie, are you sure you don't want to adjust that? Because you're really close.
Good.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Like, making me uncomfortable.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
And what does that even matter? Why
to have
does
a
that
voice
matter?
to represent. See, we're getting back to that representation thing. And
That backwards racism thing, to have a voice. So their claim is that if you have a black person on the panel, they can speak for the blacks. Right? They can represent the viewpoint
The only
of
thing I
blacks.
agreed with was if it feels inappropriate, then it probably is. That's just...
Here's your picture from the panel.
Okay, yeah, they're all white.
Let me see.
They
They're
are.
all white.
They're all white.
It doesn't even
They're
matter.
upper class white, too.
Well, they're on NBC, girl.
I know.
They're making
just...
that bread.
Ugh.
Yeah,
like, I would like someone to represent the me. The broke.
But that's the thing. The you is not white. That's not your identity.
I was gonna say I don't
right?
identify. I mean, like, yeah,
Right. So to say that they should have had a black person on the panel to represent the interests of the blacks.
yeah.
Come on.
See, this is just an issue. We're just gonna keep talking around. It's just gonna round and round and round we go.
No, it's not. Because you're gonna agree with me, right?
I'm
now.
not going. No, I'm
Yeah.
never going to agree with you.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Well, like we said, we're on the same train tracks, but just the opposite sides.
Okay.
We're
Why
going...
do you think that a single black person on that panel can represent?
No.
Okay.
But they can. But that's. But then we're back to the representation. That's just a job that like one of those white people couldn't, walk away and give it opportunity.
Okay, wait. That's a different point. Now we're on.
That's why I'm saying this is all a separate thing.
No,
it's
but
keep going around.
In this situation, they're saying have someone to represent the blacks. Do you think that is a racist thing to say?
Yeah, especially because I don't know who said it. It was just someone who voiced their opinion, or because she said something people found wrong with this was that there was no person of color on the panel. So like, who was upset by this?
But why does that matter?
And why does it matter?
Yeah, like what if a black person was upset that a black person wasn't on the panel to represent the blacks? It's still racist. It's backdoor racist.
I thought it was background. No.
Backwards. Backwards racist.
Put back in front of something. Anyway.
I don't know. The minute that you assume that, everyone of a certain race shares any particular quality other than the race, you're kind of racist.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, that's why it's an issue that no one's ever going to have. Like, we're never going to have, like, a pamphlet on what's racist and what's not, because everyone has their own interpretation.
Everyone has a either correct or incorrect. Like, there's a dictionary definition. It's a dictionary definition. But this is where people are conflating racism with offensiveness. You can be offended by everything she said. That's fine. It's not racist, though. You can think that white people shouldn't do blackface, but black people can do whiteface. You can think that. That doesn't make what she said racist. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
You can be offended, but
yeah.
Yeah, so she's on her way out. I think it's dumb.
Yeah, I don't even hear that much about her, so I'm thinking maybe she just wasn't good for ratings. And then
a lot of racist stuff, though.
Has she?
Oh, she said...
In this
go ahead.
other article, there's like 11... What does it say? Hold on, I'm gonna find it again. 11 of Megyn Kelly's most racist moments.
Oh, that's so bad. There's double digits of them. That's fantastic.
Okay, number 1, Michael Brown.
Oh no.
I'm trying to just summarize. Basically, how sad that she was. She immediately believed the officer who killed Michael Brown.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the exact quote. Number 2, Santa and Jesus are white.
Wait. So I watched that clip. It was so funny. I watched it was a soundbite. I didn't see the whole conversation.
Right.
But yeah, she's like
Santa's
kids,
not real.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what these people are talking about, kids. Just so you know, for real though, Santa's white. He's not black. It's like, what?
First of all,
Santa's not.
Santa's not a real thing, and Jesus, the person, whoever Jesus was, if he's real, because again, not religious. I don't know when I said this before, but I'm not religious.
Yeah.
If he was real, he wasn't white.
I think it's pretty much accepted that he probably wasn't white.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely not white.
He's just, it was just the most bizarre thing.
He could have been white, but he lived in the desert long enough. He wasn't white.
Yeah. But for her to say Santa Claus is factually white. Go look at him.
Fictional man.
Yeah. Go to the North Pole.
Go find him. Bring him on your show. Sit him down.
He's white.
And do a DNA test on him. Tell me how white he is.
He's got little white elves all around him making little white toys.
Oh,
He's
God.
white. Oh, my gosh. It was funny.
Oh, my God. Did you watch Brad Williams?
No.
Oh, God dang it. For some reason, that brought to mind the clip where he's like, my girlfriend's Chinese, and he's a little person. He was talking to her parents for the first time, and they're like, so when you guys having kids? And he was like, he's like, what do you think your kids would do when they grow up? And he's like, I don't know, they'd be great toy makers, though.
See, now wait. So, see, that right there is satirical and hilarious.
He's a comedian.
And
I
offensive.
understood that was a joke. Okay.
Yeah, but look, anybody could have said that. And I would have cracked up laughing. It didn't have to be a little person. What would I call someone who's not a little person? A tall person.
A normal person?
A big person.
Average person?
An average-sized person.
Average-sized person said that. I would still think it's funny. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an a-hole, but
I think
it's funny.
I don't know. Brad Williams is freaking hilarious to me. So
Okay, number 3.
oh god.
I don't know if Dylan will think these are racist.
Over here just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if Dylan will think these are racist, the rest of them.
Yeah. Let's go one by one.
Sandra Bland had a history of being suicidal.
Did she though?
I don't think so.
Who is that?
Sandra, she was arrested. This is very brief and probably not all that knowledgeable, but as far as I understand, she was pulled over like on her way home. She was an African American woman. The cops arrested her aggressively, if I remember, and while she was in holding, committed suicide, supposedly. But
Okay.
there was like, from what I remember, it was very much not a suicide. It was very much like, there's no way she could have hung herself.
I understand.
Especially because she didn't have access to any of the stuff she hung herself with. Like, that kind of thing. Yeah, it was,
Okay.
it was
this
very much a
comment
cover up. And she was just agreeing with...
with the idea that it was suicide?
Yeah.
Do you think that was racist for her to say? This is a great test for your filter.
My filter.
Right?
Listen, I trust my filter.
You know, I talked to the other black guys, and I got everyone's vote on whether these are racist. So, so I'll let
Right
you
off,
know.
Dylan.
I'll let you know. You answer first, and then I'll let you know if it is or isn't.
I don't know if that was necessarily racist of her, but I think it was quite blind of her. Because like anyone has access to this information. At the time I was like a 25, 26-year-old living in my own apartment, barely making ends meet, and I just had access to my phone. And Twitter was like, here's the link to all the evidence. And here's your Tumblr was. Same with the Mike Brown thing. Like, everyone was just like, oh, here's all this stuff that, like, all this evidence and all this, like, videotapes and everything like that you can access quite easily. Yeah. So if she's, like, going on national TV, do your research.
Okay. So it might have been, like, she jumped to a conclusion. Maybe
Which
was
is
like
very much what our news does.
Yeah, maybe she dug her heels in on one side. But was it racist? I talked to the other black guys. No, it wasn't racist.
What other black guys do you know? Besides your brother, maybe.
What do you think? I know some black guys. I know some black
10,
guys.
maybe?
10?
Ken,
Oh,
the new
Ken.
guy that you trained.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I haven't known him for that long, so.
Did you think I was requiring you to know 10 people? I
Yeah.
don't know 10 people.
Yeah.
If we would have a party tonight, I wouldn't have 10 people in my phone to send a message to.
The party's already here. And Joan.
And Joan. And Mary.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe Michelle?
Oh, now she's going to feel bad when she hears that. Of course, Michelle.
Of course, Michelle. But I'm just saying, like, who I would have. I'm just saying I don't have 10 black guys in my phone.
I got you.
Although, if I hit up Plenty of Fish, woo! I am popular!
All right.
Sorry.
Anyway.
That was inappropriate.
Anyway, no, that was funny. That was funny. Ooh, was that racist? Are you saying...
I feel
what are
a
you
little
saying there?
racist when I turn down so many, but here's my point.
Oh my gosh.
When you start... No. Okay, so you're Mr. Married to Your Sweetheart, high school sweetheart and everything like that. I'm the poor, suffering 30-year-old who has to go on online dating all the time.
Okay.
And Plenty of Fish is legitimate hell. But here's my thing.
Yeah.
If you are random black guy...
Okay.
And you you feel like this is the proper way to start a conversation with me. I am not wrong in just not responding. Here's the way they usually start. Hi, you date black guys?
What are you supposed to say to that?
I don't know. That's why I don't.
I do, but not you.
Right? Exactly. That is exactly what I've responded sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, let's not even get started on online dating. That's so bad.
Do you remember that one you had me read? You're like, can you
my
translate?
God.
Can you translate?
Wasn't he a white guy? He was white, and he spoke so horribly. His grammar was so bad. I had to have you translate it.
Yeah.
And didn't we determine that he was like Italian?
I think so.
Like he was using really stereotypical Italian catchphrases or something.
No,
It was so
he was
bad.
using straight thug.
Oh God,
like,
it was so bad.
Ghetto.
Not even the worst thing I've ever like gotten.
Yeah,
I still
it
think
was funny. Oh, I did it good too, right?
Oh, you did it fantastically. I didn't recognize you for a minute while you were reading. I was like, who the heck is
Yeah.
that?
You're like, can you translate ghetto? I'm like, yeah, sure.
I am very good at translating ghetto myself, all right? I have not been middle class or whatever the hell my poverty level is right now.
Yeah.
I have been way lower than this for a very, 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 very long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
I mean,
so, like, I
listen
have
to any-
credit, supposedly. I don't know how long has... Seriously, I've had more than one African-American woman of my age tell me that I am secretly a black woman. And I'm like, really? No, I'm not.
That's-
like, no, I'm not.
You have some honorary.
I have
black
yes, I have
cards.
honorary credit.
Nice. My credit's been taken away.
Your credit's been... I am not surprised. I'm not surprised.
All right, let's get to the next Megyn Kelly.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No evidence of racism at McKinney, Texas pool assault. Do you guys know what that is? Okay, summarized. A viral video of a former McKinney, Texas police officer manhandling a black teenage girl generated a ferocious public outcry
Yeah, I remember
over
this.
excessive force in communities of color.
Yeah.
Kelly questioned whether race was an issue in the officer's handling of the incident. What is the evidence? It is a race thing as opposed to an excessive force thing. Basically, that's the gist.
Okay, so I talked to the black guys. What do you think?
I remember the video. I understand the point she is making. But unfortunately for me, I have been on the YouTubes and the Facebooks.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen the other side of the other example where, you know, like in the video, as far as I remember, it was basically just someone disagreed with the cop because the cops were called because of excessive force in the middle of the day at like a 4th of July party. So like you're expecting excessive force or excessive noise.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like the other end of the spectrum where it's just a white dude who's like swinging at the cops. You know what I'm talking about? Why did you just sniff the mic?
I got a weird smell. I don't know. I thought my
Is it my breath? Should I
No.
Okay.
No. You're fine.
Is it the soda? I'm serious.
Oh, it might actually be that sitting there. Yeah. I don't think it's your breath though. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the Monster coffee that you're sniffing and not me. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that's the only two real things that I have to like compare and contrast is these people were having fun. It was, you know, the middle of the day. Someone calls in a noise complaint or whatever. And the cops went cray-cray on this chick.
Okay.
And there's more than one video of these things happening. I'm for some reason remembering one in California where the woman was pulled over and the cop was like dragging her out of her car. Mm-hmm. And I feel like she was pregnant in this one. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Okay.
No.
I think it was one of the first examples that people, because everyone, it wasn't a trend, but it's a thing that people realized we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all this other stuff, and we have these phones with cameras. We're going to do this. We're going to keep recording things.
Yes. Yeah.
In fact, there's a shortcut now. It's like, Apple, I'm getting pulled over, and Siri will automatically start recording you.
No way.
Yeah. Really? What? You didn't know about that?
No, that's
cool. Yeah, if
cool,
you're ever
though.
getting pulled over and you're kind of concerned that it might be a racist cop, you pull over and you go, Apple or Siri, I'm being pulled over, and then they just start recording.
Well, I got a 5S, so my Siri's jacked. She has no idea what she's doing. I'm like, Siri, I want some
5S?
pizza. Yeah, I'm like, Siri, I want some pizza. She's like, looking up local movie theaters.
Oh, crap, I forgot about that.
You're fired. You're fired. Anyway, so what she said, what Megyn Kelly said.
Is it racist? And like I said, the only thing I have in mind are the videos that I come across, which are basically two ends of a spectrum. You know, white dude going cray-cray and like pulling guns on cops and they're not shooting him. And then perfectly innocent person over here who happens to not be pasty face and they're getting beat the crap out of.
But look, but you can't make a blanket. Okay.
Make a blanket statement.
To address
is what you're
one
saying.
thing, yeah, you can't make a blanket statement about who gets shot by police based off of this one and that one. I showed you
Right.
earlier today, Madison, the stats on everyone who gets shot and killed by police
Right.
for the last like 5 years. Every single time, there's probably double white people over black people. Okay. Not saying, I mean, the proportions are skewed. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the proportions are equal, but there are at least double most of the time.
Yeah.
White people being shot and killed. So, you know, you can't just look at like this one video has a white guy not getting shot. This other one has a black guy getting shot. So therefore, racism. Can't do that. And in regards to, regards to what Megyn Kelly said, it's not racist to say what she said. She was just questioning, was there a racist intent in this situation?
Right.
That's not racist to say.
I was gonna say, I don't feel like I can. So like I said, I'm always going through my own filter.
Yeah.
I don't put my filter on other people. Like I can't legitimately be like, oh, what you said is racist.
Well, yes, you can.
I mean, like I can, but like I feel like everyone has their own filter, but it's just like set on different degrees.
Yeah, sure.
See?
I mean, but you can.
So like your crap made it through your filter. I'm not gonna judge. I mean, like I'm gonna judge you, but like I can't make you do anything. And she's just saying things because she has a show.
But the definition of racist is not subjective.
Okay.
It's objective. It has a firm definition.
Right.
Yeah. So you can listen to what someone's saying and decide whether it's racist or not.
Yeah. Like the joke that Brad Williams made. Kind of racist.
Which one was that?
That his kids would be great toy makers because
Toy
his
makers.
wife's Chinese.
Yeah. Sure.
It was said funny though. That was
Exactly.
It was presented hilariously.
Exactly. Sure, jokes are racist, but
Yeah.
they could be funny. Context matters. But what she said was not racist. She's just saying everyone thinks that this guy is racist. Is there any evidence of a racist intent? Was he like screaming the N-word while beating this woman down?
Right.
Is there any evidence of that? And all she did was question it, and then people are saying that she's racist for that. It's out of control. That's what the other black guys say, though. It's not racist.
The other black guys.
No problem with racist emails sent by Ferguson, Missouri employees. During a discussion with Wall Street journalist Brett Stevens, Kelly dismissed the Department of Justice report on Ferguson Police Department disproportionate targeting of blacks as a case of bad apples. Despite serious findings of racial bias and stereotyping in the department, Kelly called the reporter problematic, arguing that there are very few companies in America where you won't find racist emails.
That's kind of racist. I
didn't even catch all that.
Okay.
I'm still not clear.
There was a DOJ report that they found emails that were really racist.
Okay.
In the Ferguson Police Department.
All right.
And she was like, well, they're not really, and you can't really go to too many companies and not find a racist email here or there.
Oh, she was like saying,
it's okay to be racist.
maybe not, but they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Racist
you know where I'm headed on that one. It's a little racist. It does not clear the filter.
No, it's not racist for her to say that. It might be a little bit apathetic. It might be like it might sound like she's justifying racist emails and be like, hey,
I see your point.
They're out there. But is it racist for her to say that? No, it's not.
I feel where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But I think it was racist.
The word racist has just been...
We've said it a lot today.
Oh my gosh.
we were like 2 hours of just us saying racist.
Racist.
Racist. I'm not doing this. Ow. Your headphones are killing me.
Are they?
Yeah, they're tight.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
They do wear on the cartilage.
They do what?
They wear on the...
Yeah,
on
the cartilage.
ears,
I feel like I have extra hard cartilage or something.
Mm.
Nah.
All right, next.
Okay.
Oh god, we're still doing this. Okay.
We're only on number 6 and we have 11.
So we have 5 more to go.
Okay.
Let's find the really racist
Do you
stuff.
want to do 2 at a time?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Number 6. When TV host Stephen A. Smith apologized for an All Lives Matter comment,
Really?
Kelly weighed in to say that his spine got up and walked out of his body.
She's just kind of being a bitch there.
Okay. Number 7.
Months later, she apologizes for something she said. Sorry.
That is hilarious.
That is fucking great to me.
No empathy for Trayvon Martin's family. Wow, she said in response to the reaction of Teen's father to George Zimmerman not guilty verdict. They prosecuted him. Those prosecutors did their level best, but they didn't prove their case. I mean, the jury saw it differently. It's also worth nothing that her show was one of the platforms used by Zimmerman's attorney to perpetuate the notion that the slain teen was a violent thug.
So
the first one, I applaud her for saying that. His spine got up and walked out the room. Not racist to say. Not racist to say.
it's not racist that her opinion is he was weak-willed because he had to apologize for something he said.
Right, it's not racist.
It's not right. Okay, yeah, no, we agree on that one.
Yeah.
What was the other thing?
Yeah,
It was...
run it through quickly.
Say, just give us a small synopsis.
The second one, no empathy for Trayvon Martin's family.
Oh.
That's the...
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I have empathy for their...
Trayvon Martin's dad went on TV, like, really upset.
Yeah.
Because Zimmerman, like, got out free.
Yeah.
And Kelly just kind of was like, he's a thug, like, who cares?
Yeah.
And Zimmerman's attorney had used her channel, had used her show to
paint that he was a thug.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's racist. It's just cold-hearted.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
you have no empathy for the family that just lost somebody?
Yeah.
Because the dude in SeaTac wasn't dead more than 10 minutes before I went on Twitter and was like, let's think of his family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, let's seriously consider anyone who's lost anybody. It sucks, no matter the freaking consequences.
I know I'm, you guys know I'm religious. And
Yeah.
I can say, every time I hear that someone has died, I pray for him right there. Right then and there.
Yeah.
No matter what it was. Like, if the guy stole the plane or if it was like, you know, like a murderer
Yeah.
who killed himself in prison or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I pray for them and I pray for
Do you not believe in the death penalty?
their family. No, I don't.
Okay.
Actually, I don't. But
I don't know if how my feelings are on it. But
yeah. But, you know, life is complicated. I don't want to get too, like, philosophical in this setting, but, you know, it's complicated.
I feel like we've summed that up. Everything's a little complicated.
Yeah. And it's not that I'm, like, my heart's pouring and empathizing with a murderer. You know, I'm just saying,
Right,
like,
you're empathizing with the fact that this person has people that they were close to, that they and those people have just lost somebody.
Yeah.
So no matter how you feel about that person,
there's still
have empathy for the fact that these people are suffering. These people have to now walk through the stages of grief.
Exactly. Take all the politics out of it. Like, in this case, I feel like she was probably just taking a conservative side of the argument and not really considering.
I mean, it was really cold-hearted, and she
was
shouldn't have
just
said it, but I don't think technically it's racist.
No, it's not racist. It's just kind of cold.
Numbers 8 and 9.
8. Criticized Baltimore Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake thug apology. Summarize. The mayor of Baltimore apologized for calling protesters thugs. Megyn Kelly says, yeah, she basically just went on a rant about what the Baltimore mayor said.
So wait, the Baltimore mayor said that the protesters were thugs?
Yes.
And
then she apologized for it.
Okay, so she apologized for it, and then Megyn Kelly didn't think that she should have had to apologize.
Yes, you got it. Okay?
She should have had to apologize because protesters are not thugs.
Do you want me to read
number
9?
Oh, yeah, number 9.
Oh, wait.
Okay, number 9 really quick before you start discussing.
Okay.
Calls for justice perpetuate culture of victim. I can't say that word for the life of me. Perpetuate culture of victimhood. She once claimed First Lady Michelle Obama and others who call for social justice are perpetuating a culture of victimhood, saying it takes away your power to send the message that you are a victim and you will remain a victim unless the man gets his foot off of your neck.
So first one, she called protesters thugs, or said that someone shouldn't have apologized for suggesting that the protesters are thugs. Racist? No. Not racist. You don't got to be black to be a thug, and to think otherwise makes you racist. Yeah, am I right?
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing.
You should be agreeing, though.
I don't like to agree with you. That's why that's why you have me on this podcast, because I don't agree with you all the time.
But I'm so right.
No, you're not. In my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the mayor didn't say those blacks are thugs. She said the protesters are thugs.
Right.
Yeah. If the protesters there happen to be thuggish, then they can be called thugs.
The point was, she said she shouldn't have said sorry about it.
Yeah. Why is that racist? It's not racist.
Yeah, you're right. It's not racist, but it's stupid that she thinks that people don't have to apologize. Like, why? A lot of these quotes are her being like, that person apologized and they shouldn't have apologized. Wasn't your apology. You had to do an apology already. Now that we're looking back, and like now that we've seen this from the future, so maybe shut your hole.
Hindsight's 2020.
You say hindsight being 2020, she should put her foot in her mouth.
Yeah, not racist. See, a lot of remember what I was saying earlier, where people conflate offensive with racist. A lot of what she's saying here is probably widely offensive,
but not racist.
Not racist.
Agreed. I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah. And what was the second one? She said, victim culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree with her on that. Totally agree. And it wasn't racist at all for her to say that. She didn't reference any race at all.
Right. Yeah, there was no race involved in that statement. I don't think she's necessarily right. But maybe I feel like people hear the word victim and they think like weak and coward.
Yeah.
You can be a victim of something and still be a strong person. You're not whatever happened to you.
But most people nowadays that are at the protests and making all these lefty claims are saying, make these changes so that I can be okay, so that I can succeed. So they are saying that they're weak. They're saying that I can't get better until you give me equal outcome or equal opportunity or
not what I'm saying.
Big affirmative action or anything like that. Equal pay. I can't get ahead unless you give me these things. So let's riot, protest, and change the policies.
What I see during these protests is people see something was wrong and they don't want people to just shove it under the rug again. Like the Ferguson thing. It was huge, messed up.
Yeah.
And no one wanted that to just be swept under the rug like the hundreds of other times that it has been.
That's not what I see.
So we just see things differently when it comes to protesters.
Well, didn't she was saying that Michelle Obama said something that perpetuated victim culture. What did she say?
Just that Michelle Obama and others who fight for social justice perpetuating a culture of victimhood.
I feel like they tried to perpetuate,
it wasn't that Michelle Obama said anything specifically.
She was just naming her as someone as an example.
Yeah. Can you look up whatever definition you can find of social justice?
Okay.
Because that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
The advocacy for social justice results in victim culture.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it?
Here.
Social justice from dictionary.com. Justice in terms of the distribution of wealth, opportunities, and privileges within a society.
Say that again.
Justice in terms of the distribution of wealth, opportunities, and privileges within a society.
Okay. I get it.
okay. So technically, the idea of social justice is not.
It's essentially equal opportunity.
Yeah, essentially. Equal opportunity.
Is your mind changing on things? Why are you talking so slow?
Well, because that's not how I hear people use it. Or maybe they do, and I just don't agree that they're using it
Properly?
correctly.
Yeah.
Like when people say, I'm a social justice warrior, so I'm out here fighting for this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, we already have that stuff. So I think what Megyn Kelly was saying was when they perpetuate the current message of social justice, it makes a victim culture, and I think that's because most people are using the definition of social justice to justify why their life sucks and why other people should make changes to make their lives better, to make their own lives better. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Like, I don't have these rights, or this is hard, or my life's terrible, or whatever, so we got to change the policies, or we have to change how white people act, or things like that. So maybe they're using it right. I just don't think they should be using the term at all, because what I see is I look around and see a different world than what they see.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You okay?
So, yeah. I just want to make sure did that make sense?
It made sense to me. I don't know what everyone else is going to hear, but it made sense to me.
Yeah.
Just like, this is going to be the stupidest example, but like when Madison was watching Sense8, like I made you watch the first episode with me, and yeah. And there were parts of the episode where I was like, that I went on first watching, because every time I make someone watch something with me and it's the first episode, I'm like, I remember how I felt when I was watching this. You know? And then like, she was noticing other things than what I had picked up on the first. And it just sort of sums up how, in my mind, you can see something and like the inflection of someone that someone put on one word. Yeah. And someone else is going to hear the same sentence, and they're going to concentrate on the inflection of a different word entirely.
Yes, but I don't think that should apply. I think that's why there's such a divide now in the conversation politically, because that's like a subjective thing. But
yeah,
a lot of these things that people are talking about are not subjective. It's like either you have equal rights or you don't. You know what I'm saying? You have equal rights or you don't. Equal opportunity or you don't. So, but social justice has, like, the definition as people use it has been twisted up. It's now been used as the agenda of the left, right? That's the definition that they've slipped in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the media has slipped in, yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to find a conservative being like, oh, yeah, I'm all about social justice. No, because they don't want to be called a social justice warrior, which is a left
thing. That's a dirty word these days.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be, but it is.
Yeah, so it has somehow adopted, it's just become synonymous with Democrat or left-leaning or like left extremist, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense?
I know what you're saying. I understand.
I think that's the definition that Megyn Kelly's going with. When you push this side of the agenda, you get a victim culture.
Sure.
Maybe.
What's the next thing?
Is it warm in here?
Huh? No, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
You're fine? Okay.
I wish I had earbuds in them.
Number 10.
Sorry.
You're fine.
College protesters are spoiled. Kelly suggested that campus protests following unrest across the country were simply the work of spoiled, overly sensitive youth. Quote, I love the utopia, it does not exist. Good luck getting rid of all the bigotry. We're just going to wipe the world. We'd love to, but it's not reality. And then number 11 is the blackface incident.
Oh, okay. So we only have the one thing to unpack. And then we can move on, right?
Yeah.
I can stop saying the word racist.
That one didn't sound racist either. I don't think any of them were racist.
I don't think I don't know. It doesn't sound racist to me. It sounds like she's just talking.
Yeah.
I think we need to define what the unrest was, though.
Yeah, that's probably
because
true.
I think that might change the context. I'm going to look into it, but I'm pretty sure it was the unrest with the Charlottesville incident. which was
You mean the Nazis?
Yeah.
The Nazis. Okay.
That was very racist. If that's what the unrest is, then I could see where this comment is going.
Okay.
But I'm gonna find out.
All right, find out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at my list.
And
of
in the
things.
meantime, yeah, I was
What?
saying, look at your list.
Do you need to rest your ears?
No, I need to pee.
Me too.
Oh, go for it. Go for it. Go pee. It's fine. So, the thing about Johnny Depp, Madison, I read that Disney was thinking about rebooting Pirates, and they have not involved Johnny Depp at all. They haven't asked him to be part of it.
So it's all speculation.
It's very much speculation.
Why do they want to get rid of Johnny Depp?
Because he's problematic.
I don't know.
He is though.
Is he?
He's problematic.
Why?
Have you not heard about him beating his wife?
I heard about him allegedly beating his wife.
Allegedly. Sorry, it hasn't gone to court yet. So he's allegedly beat his wife.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know I said it I know I sound like an ass when I say these things, but remember when the Me Too movement first started, and I was like, yeah, I kind of had that vibe off of Spacey.
Oh,
I kind of get that vibe off of Depp too. What? Not that he did anything, but that he would definitely beat his wife.
Yeah.
Have you? Did you see when they were caught sneaking their dogs into Australia? I think it was, or New Zealand.
Who?
Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
No.
Oh my god. They didn't claim them in customs or something.
Yeah.
So they were in huge trouble and they had to go and publicly apologize. And it's the worst acting Johnny Depp has done ever. Ever.
I've seen worse.
She didn't even speak. He was like, the Australian people, we are very... It was so bad.
I saw worse acting. It was Megyn Kelly's apology.
Point made.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they...
But regarding Pirates, it's dead. It's dead.
Honestly,
we were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. There are a lot of movie trilogies that are fantastic.
Yep.
Hollywood is so obsessed with rebooting and remaking and giving everything a sequel.
Yeah.
And I'm just over it.
Yep.
If there's not an original piece of material in the theaters, I'm not going to the theaters.
What was the last original movie you saw in the theaters?
Oh. Well, I don't go to the theater a lot.
Oh.
So I've been to the theater 4 times in the last 6 years.
Okay, what's the last memorable original thing that you've seen? A movie, not a show. Not since 8.
I wasn't gonna say that, you jackass. Are you saying something I've seen advertised that I think is original?
No, that you have viewed and enjoyed.
Oh well, I don't. I don't watch that many movies.
Oh, okay. Well,
So the last movie that I watched was probably a Gillian Flynn movie. One of those movies based on her books. It was called Dark Places, but I feel like I'm lying because I don't think that was the last movie I watched.
What about you?
It was, by the way, it was kind of middling for me.
Gotcha.
If I were to rate it. If we could talk about movies all day, by the way.
For sure.
Oh, we're going to do that. Okay. Because I will rate the shit out of a movie.
I think the last... Just recently, A Simple Favor. Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively.
Oh my god, I want to see that so bad. Is it good?
It's good.
I want to see it.
Yeah, it's good.
Now I'm in my zone.
Yeah. It was really, really good. It was like a dark...
Dark comedy?
It was a dark comedy. At the end of the day, it was kind of a mystery drama.
Yes.
/ dark comedy.
So I've heard that there are definitely movies that you go in expecting a comedy and you because of the actor and then you don't get it.
Yeah. Well, I went in expecting something very dark and intriguing.
Yeah.
And
okay, so it was more lighthearted than you expected?
It was more lighthearted than I expected.
Okay,
but they compensated for that with a really interesting story and the performances were great and the humor wasn't weird. It was
yes, okay.
It was great.
Definitely want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
What movies have I watched?
I watched.
I don't watch movies that often.
What was the one I told you about, Madison? Hold the Dark with Jeffrey Wright on Netflix.
Oh my god, I have that on my list, but I haven't watched it. There's so many things on my list. You really?
We watched that one. It's super weird.
It's super weird.
It's almost an art film, if you know what I'm saying.
I was gonna say I heard someone doing a basic small review of it, and they said it was good but long. Yeah,
leaves you feeling kind of unfulfilled.
I don't like movies like that.
Yeah, it's an art film. I read an analytical breakdown of the meaning of the film, and the fact that there is one tells you that
there's the meaning to a film.
An analytical breakdown of what the film represents, and it was an art piece, really beautifully shot. Score was cool. Performances were great. The narrative is very sort of hard to grab. It's not normal. It's not a normal arc, and it leaves you with questions, and you're like, why? What was the point of this? But it was good. I would recommend it. It was good.
All right.
And Jeffrey Wright is dope.
Yeah. See, look at my list is just all shows.
Yeah.
I don't even. Where's a movie? Good God.
Yeah, get some movies, girl.
Jeez. I can't even find what's the last movie you watched? Oh wait. Never mind. Anyway, and I have Making a Murderer season 2 on there, by the way. Just so you know, I'm gonna watch it eventually. She's been telling me for 3 days I need to watch this movie
because she was telling me about it today, and you do need to watch this movie. I need to watch this movie.
It's a documentary. It's a show.
Yeah, the documentary.
Yeah. Well, because you both know that I love my favorite murder. So
yeah,
not all true crime stuff.
I could talk about Making a Murderer all day.
We should review it on the podcast after we all watch it.
Yeah. Well, it'll be 6 months from now when I am back, but
oh, that's true.
I'm moving, guys. It's my last weekend.
What the heck? Who's gonna podcast you out there?
Do I need a laptop to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have a laptop. I just need to fix it.
You need a mic.
Okay, well, I'll buy a mic. I'm sure they come cheap on Wish. Sorry. Started trigger him right there. Sorry.
Cheap on Wish. Yeah. Or I could get one of those things that allows you to do phone calls like radio shows do.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we have another caller.
Yeah, they do that on Last Podcast on the Left, I think, or A to Z Horror, whatever it was that I was listening to. One of the guys didn't live in state, so he would just call in while they were all doing their thing, and then he'd just edit it in.
Yeah.
We could probably do doing
works
that
too. Yeah.
I'll just have to get really comfy.
Yeah.
I schedule my day off. I'm going to call Dylan on this day. My sister's gonna be like, "So can you watch the kids after go out?" No, it's an all day thing. Are you kidding me, Kayla? Yeah, I'm serious though. It's a calling to just judge movies.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
I'm really trying to think of the last movie I watched.
You don't watch movies, I guess.
I don't. I used to love movies.
I love the movies that nobody else likes.
I
love movies, period. You just love the movies.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. They're Hollywood makes movies for people, and she's people. And then we're the snobby ones and have to judge them.
I have an appreciation for the unseen part of the movies.
Okay.
The part that people ignore.
So there's a movie that is awful. Just the absolute worst movie on the planet, and I still want to watch it at least once a year.
Black Panther?
No. Again, I've not seen that one. At least once a year, I want to watch this movie just for funsies. I feel like it should have a cult following because it's so bad.
What is it?
Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunter.
I love that movie.
No, it's bad. It's bad.
It's so bad, right?
It's bad.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's so fantastically terrible.
Love it.
It's the best horrible movie I've ever watched.
It's bad.
I love
the acting, the everything, but at the same time, it's so fun.
That's how I feel about Sucker Punch.
See, we all have that movie. We all have that guilty pleasure. Do you have a guilty pleasure?
I'm not guilty.
Okay, yeah. What's my guilty pleasure movie?
Yeah, what's your guilty pleasure movie?
I don't know.
You just got a dead look at us.
Yeah. What movie do I like to watch that's bad?
It's like horribly bad. Like you just watch it and you're like, oh god. What was I watching the other day that everyone was talking about? Like 5 minutes, and I was like, this is awful.
Oh, Anaconda.
Oh my god! Wait, the first one with Jennifer Lopez?
Both.
But yeah, they're
bad. They're just corny monster movies, but I like them.
Most monster movies are pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, like I like a good horror movie.
Yeah, those are.
Oh,
It's funny. I was rewatching Anaconda the other day. It was on Hulu's like Halloween selection.
Yeah.
And I used to watch it with my dad all the time. I was big into snakes when I was a kid. So I was watching it, and it was bad. And they had the Anaconda like like doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like they bring it up out of the water, and its mouth is open. And it's like freaking out and screaming. I'm like, what? Snakes don't do that.
Snakes
you
don't
know,
do that.
they don't do that.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, it opens up with this ominous like facts, like nature facts about the anaconda.
Yeah.
And like how they're savage beasts that are never satisfied, and they'll eat something and then throw it up just to kill again.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No. If
Even
they
I know
eat-
that. And I don't like snakes.
If they eat and then you go poke them with a stick and piss them off, yeah, they'll throw up so that they can defend themselves because they're
Right.
full. They can't do anything. But they're not just going to like eat and then they're not bulimic. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't do that.
Yeah, I actually saw a thing online that said it's probably false, but there's no such thing as, or well, not no such thing, but the fear of snakes and spiders is actually something you're born with, where opposed to any other like phobia that we have.
What?
Yeah,
that article too. I didn't look into it. But
That can't
I did
be
see
right.
That.
yeah. See,
I did see it.
it's sort of backed up.
I don't buy it.
I'll have to look into it, but I
Yeah.
saw that article too.
I've never been afraid of snakes.
I've
You
always
were
been.
born with it, according to the article.
I was born with a fear of snakes.
You weren't with a fear of
born with a
snakes.
fear of snakes.
Yeah. So basically, all other fears are like learned, like fear of heights and everything like that. You just look down, you're like, "Oh God, that's high." You have
spiders and
like
snakes.
something you learn. But like if you see a spider, even like at 1 day old, you're like, "Ah!"
Interesting. That can't be right. There's got to be some 1-year-olds out there that are like, "Ooh," you try to eat it or something.
Yeah, but they're not afraid. That's the point they're trying to make. They're
When someone's
born
like,
with the fear.
Yeah, you don't have like it's
not
not one of
that
those things.
everybody
Yeah.
is
I
born
see,
with the
I
fear.
see.
It's that if you have a fear of snakes or spiders, you are
You're born with it.
that
So every
fear.
other fear is nurtured.
But
And this one is nature.
Snakes and spiders is
born.
natural.
Yeah.
Either you're afraid or you're not.
Yeah.
That was
And I'm naturally afraid of them because
I'm not.
have you watched the Curious Creations of Miss Christine McConnell?
Yeah.
She was making little baby spiders like food.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's food.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of it.
Yeah. Caterpillars is my thing.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
The
Which one,
worst.
which newbie was it that was making fun of you for it? It was like, I'm going to look up this
Oh,
thing.
probably Kaylee.
Yeah, she's pretty savage.
Savage. She's all right, though.
Her dog's a fraidy cat, though.
Her dog?
Yeah.
Oh.
Her dog growled at me.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Kaylee, too.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, when did you see her dog?
She brings it in every night.
Really?
Yeah, it's got separation anxiety.
The new Kaylee
The new Kaylee, yeah.
brings her dog in?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a little fluffy chihuahua.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I was just thinking about something.
We
No.
were talking about guilty pleasure.
Movies.
Yeah, sorry, movies. We're back on movies.
And then we got stuck on Anaconda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my guilty pleasure. Well, I mean, it's bad now. It probably wasn't bad at the time, though. Anaconda is probably a scary movie.
Right.
You know.
Well, what was it? Let me think. There was Bram Stoker's Dracula was not great.
What?
Bram Stoker's Dracula, the one with Keanu Reeves, and neither of you have seen it.
No.
Well, we're
What
gonna
movie?
pass on that one.
I can't hear what you're...
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, I don't know. I guess not.
It's from the 90s, like 94. It's got like a bunch of famous people, and it's good if you're not thinking.
I probably would like it.
I was gonna say, let her watch it. She'll like it. All the have we all watched Interview with the Vampire?
I love
Yeah.
it.
Pretty.
I like
I
it.
like that one. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah. Well, because I was talking about it one day at work, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I love that movie when I was a kid." And there was this one scene that I was totally wigged out by, and she's like, "I've never seen it." And then like 2 weeks later, it comes to Netflix. I was like, "What the? Okay, so if I just speak it into existence, Netflix will have it."
That happens. I bought Oculus from the PlayStation Store for like $6. Next day, it's on Netflix.
Next day, I knew it.
I'm like, what? Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I am terrified of that movie.
We need to get you a mic. Are you gonna?
We really do need to get you a mic because she's getting excited.
About movies,
Right. All right, hang on.
we can scooch in over here.
Yeah, can you both go over
Well,
there?
we gotta move the
chairs?
table so I can
Wait.
move the chair.
Wait.
Okay, we've waited.
All right, back to movies then.
Okay, so
Movies that we love, but everyone else hates.
Let me put this on record.
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean 1 through 3
is
gorgeous.
Yes. I agree.
Brilliant.
They put the story together quite well. Everything tied into each other.
Yeah.
It was a fairly well done trilogy.
Yeah.
With that on record, I can tell you one of the worst trilogy. Well, one of the best movies with a horrible third act. Like, waste of film, insult to my intelligence, Scream 3.
Okay, Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I don't
7.
like Scream
It's
at all.
Okay, there's only
insulting
4 of
intelligence.
them.
Okay, they're all trash. Let me talk about Pirates for a minute.
Oh my god.
Fine,
here we
go ahead.
Gore Verbinski is a genius.
He's talking about music in the movie now.
Or
no.
He's the director.
He's the director. Oh, shit, my bad. I mean, crap,
Yeah.
my bad.
So, brilliant. I recently watched the first one again. Oh my gosh. The pace is so nice.
Yeah.
The characters are developed so well. And you know all the Jackisms that he has? Like,
Yeah.
you know how Jack Sparrow's like, he seems kind of drunk and dumb the whole time, but you know that he's got a plan put together that he's already thought about 6 days ago.
Yeah.
And you know, it's playing out and you don't even know it. He's a genius strategist, you know.
Okay.
Visuals are great, music's amazing, and it's just really, really great. And they were able to form an arc over 3 movies that was just incredible.
It worked really well.
And then they made the 4th one.
Yeah. I haven't even seen it. I refuse.
Gore Verbinski didn't do that one.
See, that's where people mess up.
He said, you know, he was like, this was a 3-movie arc. We've completed the story. That's where it was
there's a money
intended
grab.
to land. Yeah, it's a money grab. So he's like, no, I'm not going to do it.
You can't. You're doing the fans a disservice when you go for the money grab.
Yeah.
Like, my example of Scream. Scream 1, 2, done really well. Scream didn't actually need a sequel. It was perfect the way it was, and then they were like, money grab! But then they did it well, and they had the same, like, director and writer and music and everything like that. It was great. Third one, definite money grab. Because it was crap.
Yeah.
It was insult to my intelligence. I will burn my copy. All right? I only have a copy because it came in a set of 3. I couldn't not buy it. And then the 4th one came out like 11 years after the original. So weird anniversary, but okie dokie. And still did justice.
But okie dokie.
Yeah.
I love that that's what you found funny. It was okie dokie.
When I watched the 4th Pirates, I was just...
You have a tear in your eye, Dylan.
It really does.
I was shooketh. For
He was
real.
shook. He was like, what is this?
What have they
What is
done?
this?
And you know, I know I'm a music nerd,
Yeah.
but they really did something special with Pirates of the Caribbean and the music.
Yeah, I thought it was... Yeah.
You know, in some films you'll have like a main theme or a hero theme and a villain theme, and then fluff in between.
Sure.
And the fluff is usually good. It's not bad.
Yeah.
But in Pirates of the Caribbean, there's no fluff. There's a theme for everything. There's a texture. And then, like, Davy Jones has a locket that he shares with the woman that he loves, and it plays a little song. And that song is the same music that he plays on the organ when he's angry and lonely. And then whenever the ship rises up out of the water, that same theme is in the orchestra, and you know that it's Davy Jones, you know?
Yeah.
And the 4th one, they had a new director who didn't understand that. And they used the Davy Jones theme for Blackbeard. And whenever Blackbeard did something evil, they played the Davy Jones theme. I'm like, what are you doing? Corrupting the whole fabric of the film, of the story, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
And they did have a
quite
Blackbeard
insulting.
theme, but they incorporated the Davy Jones theme too when he had nothing to do with that relationship. And it was little things like that. There's a love theme in there, which if you analyze it out, it's comprised of like a little bit of the Jack theme, a little bit of the Will theme, and a little bit of like just like a general pirate theme, and it's incredible.
Oh, he definitely is nerding out about music.
Yes. And they perverted it. And Jack is just in the fifth one. He does nothing.
I mean, yeah.
He does nothing. He's supposed to have a plan. He's a hero.
Yeah.
Or he straddles the line, but at the end of the day, he's a good guy.
He's basically they're just there to be Johnny Depp and pull viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not surprised.
Garbage.
I'm not surprised.
Garbage. Oh, and they got my least favorite actor of all time to be in that one, which was the kid from. He was in Oculus too. The brother. He plays
Never watched
Nightwing now
Oculus.
on TV.
Oh.
Don't know.
I don't remember his name. He was in Maleficent
neither.
too, I think. But
Yeah.
I don't know how
clearly
he's so
haven't watched
popular.
anything.
I can't stomach him.
Well, where's my phone? I can look this guy up because apparently it irks.
Yeah. It irks me.
I don't know why. Like, if he's not a big name, I'm not going to understand why.
You'll recognize him, I think.
Okay, so
I know who you're
in
talking about.
Nightwing in the new help me.
Teen Titans.
Thank you.
Titans.
Yeah.
Oh, Titans. Thank you. Titans. There we go.
Garbage. Pirates was good, and then 4 and 5 turned it into I don't know, just like blockbuster.
Dick Grayson,
Garbage.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dick Grayson. Yeah.
Brenton Thwaites.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
That sounds right.
He was Henry Turner and
Yeah.
one of the I
And
don't.
Pretty Boy.
Maleficent. He was the prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not recognizing him.
I
or
recognize.
his
When you
strip.
said Maleficent, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're apparently irked by something I've never even seen anything of.
Have you never seen Maleficent?
Nope.
Oh, you're missing out. That's a good one.
I mean to. There's a lot of things I mean to
Don't
watch.
know. That is a good movie.
Oh, and I remembered the movie that I was criticizing 5 minutes in and that I had to turn off, and it's not something you guys would have heard of, so it's fine.
Make sure you get into the mic, girl.
Oh, nothing. It was just a side note. Yeah, no,
Oh.
I've literally never seen anything this guy has ever been in, so...
I can't believe you've never seen Maleficent. That's a great
I've never
movie.
seen Maleficent, I'm sorry.
That is a good movie.
I
love
meant
that
to watch
movie.
it. I meant to
Don't
watch
make that face.
it. What face does he make?
He's making it like a disgusted face.
Oh.
Maleficent is a great movie.
I only saw
I
it
have
once.
it.
I've heard it's pretty okay.
I only saw it once.
You only
I've
saw
seen it
one?
again.
It's really good.
I mean,
It's clever.
Are you big on the second watch? Because I have movies that I watch just like I'll just throw it to be on the background, and then there's other movies that I'm like, that was a fantastic movie, but I'm never gonna watch it again. Or if I would need to be in a specific mood to watch that movie again.
I'm very picky with the second watch. You know, like I have a very small movie collection. It's only stuff that I would bother watching twice.
Same.
Yeah. And
Like I have.
I find a movie that I like and I'll watch it like for days.
really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I have like Scream for me is one of those movies I can just throw on and it's on for days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can just watch. I can clean the house or
Yeah.
fold the laundry, whatever. To
That's
it.
how I
and it's
feel
'cause I'm
about-
not paying attention to it.
I'm realizing that my favorite genre is like epic fantasy. I mean, I realized that before, but I never thought about it in regards to the collection that I have and what I've chosen to keep and buy.
Yeah.
And what I've, like you say, you put something on to listen to because it's wonderful and you can just, it has a
Oh, I
nostalgic
didn't say
quality.
Scream was wonderful. It has its
Oh,
issues.
well, I mean, you because you like it, you know.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can put it on, and I'm thinking about what do I put on when I clean the house? It's all epic fantasy. It's either Lord of the
Really?
Rings,
Mm-mm.
I need
yeah,
to watch
or
Lord of the
like
Rings.
Beowulf,
No.
or
Oh.
Avatar, or something
hate
like
that
that.
movie.
No, if I'm
Really?
gonna turn on an epic, I'm gonna sit down and watch it.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's
I-
epic something, it's staying. I'm
My
sitting.
my
Really?
background movies are Sucker Punch because you don't have to be invested in that storyline.
Quit making faces. No one can
And-
see a face on a podcast.
I know.
And like the live action Cinderella. I love that movie.
I still haven't seen that one either.
I love that movie.
Girl.
Yeah, I love them.
No, but you know what I find hilarious? The entire cast of Twilight hates Twilight.
Who doesn't hate
Who
Twilight?
doesn't hate
everyone
Twilight?
Everybody hates Twilight, but if I were cast in a major motion picture like that, I would try to like it.
No,
And they did not.
you
They
can't
were-
like Twilight.
I mean,
You
no
just
one
can't
likes
do it.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
That's like liking Trump. You just can't say it. Like, you're not allowed to say it.
Point. It's so bad.
They are
so
bad.
bad. But
I read all the books too, and the books were
I-
the books
same.
weren't great, but
books
they were better than the movies.
Exactly. I mean, it was very much a damsel in distress story the entire time.
Yeah, it was.
Which was but yeah, those movies were true. I didn't even watch the fourth and fifth.
The fourth one's got a little bit better, but
Did
they
they?
weren't.
I will say.
The fourth one, part 1 and part 2, they did get better, but they still weren't great.
Yeah,
So I can
they were
definitely say
Twilight
there were
better.
aspects that were better. The acting got better. The visuals got better.
Oh, but that baby, though.
What
do you mean?
I've heard it was horrible.
Rosemary or whatever her name was.
Renesmee.
Renesmee.
Yeah.
They did
Which is not a name.
They did a CGI baby. They're like, we're going to be super cool. Okay. Check this out, right?
Look it up.
We're
I
going to
don't know what it
superimpose
looks
the chick's face
Okay.
and the guy's face, and we're going to put them together. And we're going to make it into a baby. So it's just like that. Why would you do that? It's a baby. Babies
Just
don't look
cast the
like
baby.
people. Just
I was
cast the
gonna
baby.
When they're fresh out the pot, they look
Yeah.
like potatoes
They
for like a month.
did
Yeah.
have like a baby, but they never showed like the baby's face. They
Briefly.
CGI'd the baby's
The face.
And you can tell in watching this movie that the baby, like the real life baby, was covered in like cherry juice.
Oh, God,
Like-
that's so bad.
Like the blood looks like what it is. Oh my god, girl.
It's terrifying. It's so bad.
That's not what it looks like.
Are you sure? Because
Yeah.
that's terrifying.
I'm
Let me see
positive.
that. Let me see.
That's a bad picture.
Let me see.
That's not what it looks like. This
What did it look
is-
like?
That's from the
just
movie.
So bad.
That's from the movie.
So bad.
Yeah. That I don't know what the fuck that is, but that's not.
Madison.
Sorry.
I didn't do it.
Language.
Sorry. No, that's not what the baby looked
Oh
like.
my gosh! Like obviously the girl who
Should
played
I
the older version.
Reposition the mic because where you guys are right now is perfect. Should I reposition it so it's easier for you to get close to it?
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
You're fine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I keep
Well, you-
leaning up. I know, but
Yeah, you keep leaning up. Just keep an eye on your...
I'll try and remember to slouch.
Yeah.
Which is like which I should not be doing.
Yeah.
Especially that little girl's now in that new movie, but
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
She's in
yeah,
a
Nutcracker.
the Nutcracker. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that was her. It's clicking now. I'm like,
I
oh, yeah.
I recognized her right away when I saw the commercial.
Yeah.
I recognized her.
I had heard
I knew
her name
exactly who she
somewhere
was.
before.
Anytime I see her, I think, oh, that's Renesmee.
Yeah.
I just know that's her.
So
That's unfortunate.
I went and saw all these movies premiere night
Really?
because Shelby loved the books.
Okay.
So,
I did too.
Yeah.
So
too.
she was giving them a chance, but she knew they were bad, right?
Yeah, she knows things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, please give me some hope for Shelby.
Yeah, yeah. So we went to a mega screen, like Ronnie's and whatever. They have the biggest screen in the Midwest or whatever. It's bigger
Yeah.
than IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
We went
Okay.
to one of those to see it, and man, it was packed. And I will say, so the movies are garbage, right? Oh, yeah. But the fourth one was a good time. It was one of the best crowds you could ask for. When you have like everyone who's a big, like you have a big fandom in there.
Yeah.
And it's the finale of the whole series, and there's like a climax, and werewolves are ripping heads off
Yeah.
vampires, and everyone's like on their feet, like yes. It's like yes, this is a good time, and
Yeah.
the movie was
That
was fun. It was a fun movie.
It was.
That
That's what I'm
was-
saying. It was definitely better.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It still wasn't great, but
No,
it was
trash.
It was way better than the others had been. They
Yeah.
progressively got like a little bit better each time,
Yeah,
That
but
was
they still were not fantastic.
the final Harry Potter for me. I went to go see that opening night with
See,
Tony,
yeah.
and there was kids dressed. There was obviously like teenager and 20-year-olds,
Yeah.
20-something-year-olds dressed up as Harry Potter in line for like ages,
Yeah.
and it was the best time. It was fantastic.
I love all the Harry Potters, but every time I watch the last one, I just think they could have done a few things a lot better.
Like he didn't snap the frickin'
What?
He didn't snap the wand.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Oh my god,
Come
I
on.
was enraged when I saw it. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Really? I was so pissed.
And
I haven't
so-
watched that movie in a while. What did he do?
The Elder Wand, he snapped the Elder Wand and threw it over the bridge.
Does he not do that in the book?
No. He
Sorry.
goes and he fixes his
He fixes his
personal
wand.
wand. He uses it to fix the wand, which usually you can't do, I guess. So you need the
Yeah,
Elder Wand
so you
to
need
do
the
it.
Elder Wand because it's, yeah.
Yeah, and then he like locks it away where no one can get it. or
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
can't remember exactly what he did, but I know he didn't break it.
Yeah, and
First off, it's the Elder Wand. How did you just snap it like a twig? Shouldn't it have, like, protection?
right, like it's the Elder Wand. It should be indestructible. I don't know. But anyway, there's a couple other things. So my mom always catches me up on the books after we see the movies.
Okay.
She's like, now let me tell you how it should have been. You know?
Like, they should have included Peeves at all.
What?
They should have included Peeves. Like,
Peeves?
yeah. In the book, he's the ghost that, like, goes around. He was singing a song about Voldemort being dead in the last one, and we don't get to see that because he was in the books from book
not
one,
in the
but we
movie.
don't get that.
Yeah, and I think Dobby plays a bigger role.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Hermione does the elf association, like for the rights of elves and stuff.
Right.
It was a huge... They needed to make it a TV show. Obviously, that can't happen because...
They are, aren't they? Aren't they? Someone's bidding for that or something? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I thought somebody was bidding for a show, Harry Potter show. I don't know.
Watch it be Netflix.
Right? if it's anything like The Witcher, don't get your hopes up. But anyway.
There's always so much hope. Like, didn't they do a good job with Series of Unfortunate Events? I heard they did actually a
I
decent
didn't
job with
watch
that.
it. All I saw, what's his name?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, I saw him in it and I was like, he's not going to
Watching this whole Witcher situation unfold is making me really nervous for The Last Airbender.
Right?
Really nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please
I-
do it justice, please. It's such a good show.
So I don't follow that many books because I don't know. I have a hard time getting into books. But Karen Slaughter sold the rights to her most recent book. And I'm super nervous because I dream of being able to watch her books turn
Yeah.
into a show.
Yeah.
And that's what this is going to be. And it's by the people that did Big Little Lies.
Yeah.
Which was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I really hope this doesn't turn into a Netflix situation.
I don't know. I've told you guys about the Demonata book series that I love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's 10 books, fantasy. It's fantasy horror, actually.
Yeah.
There's like magic and demons and stuff, and it's great. And I've thought about, man, this would be awesome as a show or a movie. And then I thought, you know what? Nah, just let it be great as a book. And I thought about how they would do it.
Right.
And I don't think they could do it. I think some books are just meant to be imagined.
Right.
You know, like if they did the Demonata and did it right, it would be rated. I don't know what it'd be more. It's so graphically frightening.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't think you can do a long running book series as a TV show because the writers are always given so much material and then they want to put their spin on it. Because when I first watched, I hadn't read the True Blood books in a while before they made the series, but I did remember reading the first book. So I was excited when they made the first series, when they made the first season, which I felt, despite a lot, it was pretty faithful to the books. The second, third, fourth, fifth, go on, however many seasons they did, it would just they did not have the books in the room at all. They were like, let's just go with it. And I was like,
I don't like that at all. It's like when you say you're adapting a book, what do you think the fans are waiting for? Do you think they're waiting for your spin on the book? No. Just copy the book.
Right? Just put the book on the screen.
Yeah. Look at you destroying the studio.
I'm trying not to. Studio, your loft.
It's a studio.
Offended.
Yeah,
Triggered.
that was so racist.
How was it racist?
Exactly. See how you judged whether I thought it was racist?
So,
I didn't. Anyway,
back to books.
Dylan's right.
back to book
Back
adaptation.
into books.
I don't like this. You guys need to be closer.
She
messed it up.
I like it.
Knocked it down a little bit. But
she messed it up, and now it's not right.
the best
I
way to
think
do it.
that's
Oh,
what
that's
I'm
how I
gonna
went to go see Jumanji. That was a fun movie.
Jumanji?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Oh my god, I did not expect to have as good a time as I did.
It was so good.
I love anything with The Rock and Kevin Hart, though. So.
Right? I was having a night where it was like the Rock like movie marathon, because I had rented Jumanji and Skyscraper and like a bunch of other stuff. I only ended up rewatching Jumanji because I suck at watching movies. If it's 2 hours, it's too long.
Yeah. So here's a question. Name a movie where The Rock travels across a tropical area to return a magical green stone to a mountain.
Moana.
Jumanji, too.
I
It's the same plot. It's the
It's
same
not
thing.
though. It's if you generalize it like that.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I like? I like the theory, the theory that Moana is the same story as The Lord of the Rings.
Yes!
I
Yes!
love
That is the best theory
Yes,
ever.
yes. It so works, too.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my
great.
god, it's
I
fantastic.
love that one.
Don't they say there's only 7 stories known to man, and it's all about how you frame it? It's all the same stories.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know if it's 7 exactly, but
I was
it's
gonna say, that
something
sounds
definitely
low.
along
Yeah.
that line.
Some limited number. It all depends on
Yeah.
what skin you put on top, but
Uh-huh.
it's all the same.
There's definitely that.
All right, I'll have to look up that theory next before I come out again.
There's
I'll
a
have to do
Bible
it.
verse about it.
Oh my.
Really?
Yeah, there's nothing new under the sun. I don't
Oh,
know what
yeah.
Bible
We
verse
were-
that
we-
is
yeah.
exactly.
We
But,
covered that at work.
but I mean, it all comes back to the same thing that it's all the same.
Yeah.
It's all the same.